That's right, baby. We are eventually back on a Saturday. Hedgehog time, baby. 3:07. So peek behind the curtain. I was trying to set up my extra camera, which is hooked up like it always is, and it's just not being recognized by StreamYard. So that's what I was trying to do over here. And then I forgot that the intro I had loaded up was a really old intro, which is the same thing I did last week, and then had to pop in with a different one. But that's how all that happened. What's going on, late night?
Nada, man. Just ready to do another show. Let's go. Happy Valentine's Day, everyone.
Happy Valentine's Day. Let me holler at you for a second. So Valentine's Day, I look at Valentine's Day a lot like New Year's Eve.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Okay.
Where it's like, when I was younger, when I was in like college and stuff, we would like do stuff for New Year's Eve at Rutgers. And then even when we first graduated Rutgers, we would go out like for like Hoboken or someplace like that for New Year's Eve. But that stopped many, many years ago. Because to me, New Year's Eve is a lot like, amateur night. You know what I mean? Like there's a billion people out. It's like the night you're supposed to go out, even if you don't go out, right? So when I was young and I went out, I'm like, it's kind of lame actually. And Valentine's Day is a lot like that too, except it's not like we normally go out. We're old, so we don't go out at all anymore.
True.
But like we have reservations tonight, me and Mrs. Hedgehog.
Mm-hmm.
So we're supposed to go out and grab some dinner tonight. We like food. We like going out to eat. We just don't do it that much. But I remember one of the last times we went out to eat, it was like a local-ish restaurant that was like for what passes as hot in Hunterdon County, because it's kind of rural up here. Okay. And it sucked because they're trying to pack as many people as they can in. There's people all around you. You're at like a little table like this, and like,
right.
What are we doing here? Like, wouldn't we have more fun just being home, like ordering food and like having a few drinks or something like that? So
most definitely.
So, but even though I think me and Mrs. Hedgehog are going to try to go out, like I said, we have reservations for 7:30. Go out and have some dinner at a place we like that's local. Mm-hmm. That's not the biggest thing that's going on right now for Valentine's Day. So, as I may have mentioned before, I have a 12-year-old daughter.
Mm-hmm.
So I have a 12-year-old daughter, which means she has 1 foot in little girl land and 1 foot in, teenage girl land, which can be challenging sometimes, but she's an awesome, awesome kid. And I don't remember 12-year-olds all having like boyfriends and girlfriends. Maybe a little bit when I was younger, but a lot of her friends have had like multiple boyfriends, and it's like, it's just like this person likes this person or whatever. It's not like they drive or go anywhere.
I had my first girlfriend at 12.
Did?
Sure did.
Well, I mean, not everybody. Never mind. Yeah. Not everybody can be a hoot. But so point being, apparently there's a boy at school that likes her and asked her to be his Valentine.
See?
And she said yes.
It's already happening, dude.
And one of her best friends, is having like a party at her house tonight. Like, and we were advised this by the parents who we know and we like. And in the parent text that I got, the parents were like, "Hey, the girls, the friends, her little friend group, we're gonna come over. We're gonna have like a little party, have food and games and stuff for them." And then she said, "This is the mom texting. Also, I'll make up names. Tom, Dick, and Harry. Those are not the real names, obviously.
Right.
Are also coming over to sort of let us all know, hey, a couple of boys are coming over. And one of whom is this boy who likes her."
Mm-hmm.
So Grayson has been through the whole gamut of, number one, being excited that somebody likes her, and then being like, oh, I'm not sure. But she's going or whatever. But that's kind of what's going on here. So it's just kind of like, it's like a weird thing. Like, here we go, right? Here we go.
Yeah.
My daughter now is going to be at a party Now, again, it's something that's being held and controlled by the parents, so it's a fairly relatively safe situation. Although, anyone who was a kid, everybody knows that just because the parents are there, that doesn't mean everything's going to be copacetic.
Yeah, it's like I said, man, it's kind of like that stage in their life, we've all been there, and little get-togethers and parties like that happen, and before you know it, kids start liking each other, and they get their first kiss, and they hold hands, and they start going
Easy,
out.
Eric.
I'm just
Easy with
saying. I'm
this
just
K.
saying. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. I mean,
Shit.
did you watch The Wonder Years? Come on, man.
I come on here to relax.
Well, the relaxing time is over, dude. You had 12 years to relax. Now it's time to freaking stress out and start making wedding arrangements.
It's a weird thing though, because I'm like, on the one hand, like she's happy, so I was happy. You know what I mean? Like a little boy likes her. Good. I'm glad. You know what I mean? Like, I like this kid already, but at the same time, I'm like telling him, like, listen.
Jordan says, wear your wrestling costume when you open the door.
Exactly, right? So that's what's going on here. A little Princess Hedgehog going off to a party.
Yeah, well, like I said, you can't stop time, brother. It happens. They grow up. You know what I mean? And you don't want them to. Even when she's 12 now. Someday she'll be 21. Someday she'll be 30, and she'll still be your little baby girl, no matter what. But they do grow up, man. You just got to know that you've done the best that you can to raise them right, and hopefully in the years to come they pick good people to associate with, and boys that are respectful to them, and and treat them right, and you'll always know that you'll always be her number one. You know what I mean? So it's like, so whatever you do, like I said, that has to rub off on her in some way or form or fashion. So she's in good hands, because you've done the job of raising a great kid. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's funny. Talk about like a good message there. When you were talking about her going, eventually she's going to be 21 and then 30. The next thing I was going to say was, don't forget the number one rule. Be cool. See you later, guys. I'm going to go sleep.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, you're right, man. I just, it's funny, like, especially, like you don't ever want bad stuff to happen to your kids. You don't ever want people to be mean to your kids. You don't want them to have unfortunate things happen. But here's the thing. If everything goes according to plan, all of that stuff is going to happen.
Of course it is. Of course
people are going to be assholes to them. People are going to fuck them over.
Yeah, they're going to break their hearts. Yeah.
And the only thing you can do
heartbreaks
is try to build them up as much as they can so that they can weather those storms themselves. So
yeah. And you can't really sugarcoat it for them. You know what I mean? You have to tell them, hey man, you know what I mean? A few times in your life, someone's gonna break your heart and break it bad, and it's gonna hurt like hell, and you're gonna think there's nothing else left living for in the world. But you know what? There's always another day. It's kind of one of those lessons that you could only learn by experience. You know what I mean? It's we've all been through it. Some of us have been through it multiple times, and each time it sucks just as bad as the first. You know what I mean? And you could tell somebody about it till you're blue in the face, but until you experience it, you won't know what it's about. But you can't hide the fact that it will eventually happen sometime in your lifetime. You know what I mean? You never know when, and you never know with who, but it's one of those things. It's a given. You know what I mean?
You can also teach them things like, this is how you use the pepper spray.
Yes,
this is where the safety is.
Yes.
And don't forget, all you got to do is call or text. I'll be there in 30 seconds.
Absolutely.
Speaking of having a daughter, I don't know if you remember this late night. We have a special guest. Our good buddy Rygon can't join us today. He's got, I believe, some Valentine's Day stuff going on and some different things going on. So we do have a special guest who, one of my favorite people in the community. I've hung out a couple of times at conventions, and has also become one of my favorite artists in the community, who we've talked about a few times on this show. He's got a unique style that as soon as you see the work, you know it's this guy's work. And we're going to bring him onto the stage right now. J. Low Fidelity. What's up, brother?
I wasn't even looking.
That's why I tried to give you a long intro so you would like sort of hear me kind of.
It kept going, so I spaced out a little bit.
I do that sometimes. What's going on, man?
Nothing. How you doing?
Good, brother. How is your Saturday going? Let's go with that.
Well, I was up too late and I woke up too early. So I had a migraine. I had too much coffee. So we'll see how getting through this could be really interesting. See how that goes.
Do what you got to do, brother. Whatever you need to do.
Let me tell you about my daughter while we're here before the subject changes. So like last year, my daughter was dating her first boyfriend, and like dating at this age, she's 13 now. So she was 13 then. It was not that long ago. Math. So the way it works, I think, is like they just hang out in groups, right? Is that what? Right. So
far, yeah, for me.
This kid wound up being a real asshole. So like they would go and hang out but in his backyard, and the kids would like make fun of her or whatever. I'm not saying this to give sympathy for her. She got through it. It wasn't fun, but whatever. So, but the thing is, this kid was like a real asshole, right? Mm-hmm. And I was gonna call his mom. Like I was really pissed. And then I found his mother's fucking rabbi. She's like a very, very well-known rabbi in the community, and the kid is such a jerk. And I just thought it was really funny. That story, I thought, I probably didn't tell it as well as I thought it was going to come out, but like, she's just like very, like all these people I know go to her congregation, and her kid like knocked her out of like the hammock, and like they were all making fun of her. And I was like, your mom's a rabbi? I was like, I'm going to go right over there. And my daughter was like, you cannot do that. And then I realized you can't do that when your kid is that age. You can't go to the parents.
Why not though?
Why not?
I'm not questioning your decision. Yeah. I'm interested to hear your thought process.
Because like it's embarrassing for your child. That like if you were 12, right? And it's not like, so like let's say one of my closest friends was a dick for whatever reason, right? I guess if my parents and his parents, they knew each other for years, they might say something, but I've never met this woman. So like, and this big friend group that they all have. So if I called, the kid would get in trouble. Maybe, hope so. Tell his friends that I called. They would all talk about that in school, and then like she's going to be ostracized of.
I got you.
That's like one of the weird things about it, because I was really pissed that day. But the kid's crazy, and it's super weird. She didn't tell me about it either. I didn't know about it for a whole summer. He was at sleepaway camp, right? They were writing each other letters.
Damn.
Yeah, man. I found, because she like talked. I guess you talk about your, that stuff to your mom, and so she didn't tell me. And I was like, you've been writing letters to this kid all summer. I had no idea, because her mom and I don't live together. So
it's a weird thing though, man. It's like, especially the time these days, like, listen, every generation is different, but I do feel like our parents had it. I don't know. There's different things. I was going to say that our parents had it easier with us, and a lot of it is because of the phones and the social media. Is what I was going to say, is because they're like they, meaning the kids, they're in communication all the time. Right. Like, and I know Grayson's in some chat groups that are like, they have tons of kids from school, and I've heard about instances about this kid being mean or that kid being mean, and it's like, what am I not hearing about?
Why do you want to be in a chat group with your whole school, though? That's like that to me is a nightmare.
It's the way of the world now.
Yeah, I know. I mean, it just sucks, but like, I think that it's not as bad, and I think it's not as bad because I think Gen X was like not always the most well-behaved generation. We were like outside all the time. Our parents didn't watch us. They were just like, go outside. My parents had no idea what I was doing half the time.
We had to grow up policing ourselves.
Right, exactly. And I wouldn't say everybody policed themselves very well if they could get away with it. our kid grew up playing Roblox together, like on the iPad during the pandemic. And I think there's a lot of like wholesomeness in that generation. They're still like mean and all of these things, but like all of her friends that I've met for the most part are like oddly, I mean, it's girls and not guys, even the boys, like they're just much like nicer and more down to earth, I guess. I didn't hang out with like the best kids after, like once I was in high school, I was probably not that well behaved. So, but.
Yeah, I will say that I had the friends that like I kind of grew up with. I've had the same friends like for pretty much my whole life. Like my whole little crew of dorks that I hung out with like in middle school and high school was the same crew. Most of us all went to college together.
Oh wow.
We mostly all pledged the same fraternity. We like still know each other. Like some of us, not everybody, but like some of us, like our kids know each other. Like we're going down to Ocean City, New Jersey for the summer this year. And then a couple of my best friends that I've been friends with for my whole life, their kids are going to come over. So, that's cool. But then like I went to college and I met, you know, a bunch of crazy people and hung out and did crazy stuff. And it's kind of like, you know, I do think I was sort of fortunate as far as the kids that I hung out with. Like they were all kids that like they all wanted to get good grades. Like they all like we're all going to college. You know, we're all like it was sort of like they were already expecting certain things, and not everybody. We did lose one, but you don't know how that's going to be when they're young, and you know, you just try to prepare your kid the best as you can to sort of make their own decisions.
Right. I mean, I think like I only speak to one of my friends from high school still, but that's like buddies. But I probably met better people in college.
Where'd you go to school at, Jay? College.
Like high school, Newport, SUNY Newport. So it is like a little bit up. It's like just where you actually can call upstate in New York. It's down the Turnpike 1 exit from Woodstock. So it has like a very specific student body. It doesn't really anymore. It's a business school. Didn't have a business school then. So like there was still a smoking section in the like cafeteria, but when I graduated, it was like a bunch of white kids with dreads. It was an interesting school to go to.
Nice. A lot of fish playing potentially.
Oh my God, man. Trading up fish tapes. I had enough of that for a lifetime after 1 year.
Yeah.
Are you do you like fish? It sounds like no, but do you like fish at all?
I don't know. I mean, I don't even think I know enough by fish to not really though. No. I like the Grateful Dead a lot.
Really? You're a Dead guy?
Yeah, the Dead are awesome. Like I don't like delve really deep into like every single live performance ever, but
I remember so when I was in high school, and we might have been do you have the live stream playing on a computer by any chance?
Yes. Is that well, I just have no, I don't.
Okay, good. I thought I heard like an echo. I was just trying to check on it. When I was in high school, and I think it might have been early. It might have been like freshman or sophomore year. That was when the Dead were. Oh no! I'm wrong. There was a Grateful Dead tour that people went to, but I think I'm thinking of Pink Floyd when they were touring for Division Bell. Was a big concert that people in my high school went to, and like a bunch of people got arrested.
I remember that tour.
I didn't go there.
Yeah, I went to the Division Bell tour. Yeah, that's when I saw Floyd.
Yeah, that was like then the live album was Pulse, right? I think after that.
I think so. Yeah,
freaking awesome, man.
Yeah.
When I was in high school, I was wait, hold on, can you? I was really into like punk and metal, so I didn't go to that show. I think the first concert I went to was the Meat Puppets.
Nice.
And then Metallica, Suicidal Tendencies, and Danzig.
Ooh.
Nice. The coolest concert I saw probably growing up was Pantera.
Nice.
Very nice.
When they were all still alive. And that was scary as hell. There was a riot because the opening band was Sepultura and the guitarist broke his arm so they couldn't play. So everybody freaked out. That was in like paid for seats. And so they all bum rushed General Admission. This is in Nassau Coliseum where like General Admission is gigantic. So, it had like room for basically the whole auditorium. Or You know, and so I was in like 10th grade. We were scared, like walking through the parking lot to get, you know, to Nassau Coliseum, just looking around at the other people that were adults at a Pantera show. We were like, what should we do here? And I look at my friends, and we have this agreement clearly that we are not going to bump. We're going to sit in our seats, right? My friend Jeff to my right says, yeah, we're definitely not going to do that. 5 minutes later, he just runs and like jumping over chairs. Like, he did not go into the aisle. He tripped over a chair. But then we were like, oh, well, fuck, like, I guess we're all going. And so then we all, and let me tell you, like, I used to go to local hardcore shows all of the time.
Mm-hmm.
And Long Island had a great hardcore scene, but the pit at the Pantera show, and there were quite a few, it was crazy.
Hell yeah.
That was some show, man.
I was never at a concert when something like that happened. I did rush the field twice at Rutgers football games, and we did rush the court one time after Rutgers beat Georgetown, the Allen Iverson Georgetown team. Rutgers beat them at the rack when they were really terrible, and we rushed the court because basically that was our March Madness.
Crazy.
Yeah,
I saw. Speaking of the punk scene, I want to say it was around maybe 92. I went to go see Primus, Fishbone, and Fear closed for them.
Whoa.
And when Fear took the stage, like a full-blown riot broke out inside the event, and it like literally spilled out into the streets. Like, cops were like throwing tear gas and the whole nine. It was freaking insane, bro. Yeah, it was insane.
You're in California, right?
Yeah, California. Yeah.
So they must have like a huge fan base there because they're from California.
Yeah. It was, I mean, yeah, I've been, well, back when they were affordable, I mean, concerts were like my life. I mean, I went to so many shows back in the day, especially the old 80s metal bands and stuff like that. And a bunch of punk shows at all kinds of like local, you know, little gigs and whatnot. And yeah, so, but yeah, I remember that as far as like a riot situation or a scary situation to be a part of. Yeah, that was crazy.
Sounds kind of cool also, though.
It was cool.
Concerts are crazy though. Like I was never at a concert where anything like that really broke down, but you do have those moments when you're like, holy shit. Like, I remember in 96, we were sophomores in college and Pearl Jam was touring. And that was like my friends group. That was like our favorite like band in high school and everything. And they were touring on for No Code was the album. Mm-hmm. And that was the year where they kind of like took on Ticketmaster, you know, Ticketmaster. We still have a fucking monopoly.
Yep.
And they wouldn't go through Ticketmaster for the tour. So we had to go through this other system, and these mom and pop shops had the tickets, and it was like a whole crazy thing, but it was kind of fun because it felt underground, even though they were like really big. And I remember the tickets were like, it felt like the tickets were a little bit more expensive. And they were $28 each were the tickets.
Yeah. And I actually still have one of those ticket stubs from that time period from Pearl Jam when they did that. I
think I still have it. It was wide. It was blue.
Yeah. Mine's like a brown one. Yeah. And it's white. It's like a big ticket stub. Yeah.
Yeah. And it was at Randall's Island. We saw them back-to-back nights.
Oh, and it was like, I went to Randall's Island to see Lollapalooza. I don't know which one. The one with Sonic Youth closing. The one that nobody liked because it was like Sonic Youth, Pavement, and Beck and Hole, and nobody wanted to see any of those bands. So like,
dude, how can you not love
that? Sounds very Lollapalooza,
bro. Yeah, it was awesome. I was in 10th grade, man. It was like Lollapalooza. It was like 95, maybe.
Hell yeah.
There you go. Here you go. Look, yeah, Bill's like 95.
1995. Yeah.
There you go. Yep. See, my Boston's you're from Boston, right?
Yeah.
Boston?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. That was great. Cypress Hill. It was a weird lineup. Man.
Yeah.
Sonic Youth came out and played, and it started raining, and that was like when they started this very like trippy era, and it was like a bonkers end to the show.
Hell yeah.
But I just remember being in the crowd, and like nothing bad happened, but it was one of those ones where there's so many people there, and it was just cute camera. It was basically the general admission front to back, right? And there's so many people around you. And you're blocked in, you're locked into that area. And like the thought came to me at some point, it's like, if anything happens, like I'm fucked. Like you can't go anywhere. There's, as far as you can like see, there's people behind you, to the right, to the left, and in front of you, all the way to the stage. And it's like, you're just there. And you're like, whatever happens, I'm just here. Like, hope you don't have to go to the bathroom. You're not going anywhere.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, Schmerber called it. He said LeBron, the Cali ticket was brown with a beetle like a beetle design that spelt out Pearl Jam.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, that's
really cool.
that's the exact ticket that I have. Yep.
Ours was blue, and it had like a design that was kind of like almost like a globe, a little bit on it. So
yeah,
my buddy definitely has it. Absolutely, still has it.
Yep. Yeah, I still have that ticket for sure.
I want to go and look at the tickets I still have, see how much those shows were, because like I used to go. Do you know the Wetlands? I don't know if you're familiar with the Wetlands. It was a venue
I've heard of it.
Yeah, I saw Rancid at the Wetlands, and like the stage of the Wetlands is like it's like up to your chest.
Yeah.
And it was when Let's Go came out, so they were just about to become popular. Nice. And this guy, like, I had these friends from Bayonne, and they got 40s from some guy in a Mohawk who came over with the 40s. And I was in 10th grade, so I wasn't the best kid. And like outside at daytime. This was because somebody offered it to me. It's not something I would have normally done. So like I go to the show, the Queers opened, and then Avail, who were like this great band from the 90s, played next. And then Rancid comes on, and like I didn't know really what bands looked like at that point because Rancid wasn't on TV. It's freaking Tim Armstrong from Rancid is the guy that bought the 40s. It was wild.
That was the guy with the Mohawk?
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
And it was crazy seeing them like really, the stage being up to your chest. It was right there. I remember it had to be like $15 for that concert.
Yeah, dude. Concerts were like $20. That was like totally normal. Like, how crazy was that?
One concert recently, and I spent $126 on one ticket, and I bought two.
Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, it's hard to go to concerts now these days. It's so hard because they're so expensive, man. So freaking expensive. I just in the last one I went to was 2024. I flew myself and my boy out to Las Vegas. We went to go see Social D and Bad Religion. And yeah, those were like, I want to say maybe 160, 170 a piece for those tickets. And it was floor general admission, so it was cool. We were on the floor, like 5 feet from the stage the whole time. So I mean, it was awesome. The pit was hard.
Was it like, did somebody buy them and did you get it from like StubHub, or is those like how much it cost?
Oh, that's how much it cost. Yeah, I got them from I forgot, it was a Eventbrite that I got them off of.
That's insane because those are two bands that you would think would not charge them, like Bad Religion, especially. You wouldn't.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I don't know. I mean, it's once the event, the people who are, I guess, sponsoring the event have control of the tickets. I mean, they control the prices, dude. It's just like StubHub. Yeah. I mean, that's what Pearl Jam and those guys were fighting against the whole time. But obviously, they lost. And now you're paying, $700 for nosebleed tickets to some unknown band. You're like, why the hell would I pay that kind of money?
Dude, the best you can do is like, I went to go see the Oasis tour for when they got back together this past year. And I was like, I was super stoked about it when I heard they were getting back together because I really liked Oasis when I was younger. And I was like,
amazing.
Yeah. And I thought I was never going to see them. And then when they got back together, I'm like, I have to go. And it was hard to see them because they said no resale tickets. They're like, we will not take resale tickets at the door. You need to buy them but it was still Ticketmaster, or there was one British resale site that you had to buy them from. So even without the markup, I paid over $200 a ticket. But I'm like, when I had a chance to get them, I'm like, I'm fucking going.
Yeah, I'm right there with Trevor. I was at the first Lollapalooza with Jane's Addiction and 9 Inch Nails.
Screw you both because I wanted to go so badly to that, but I was in 8th grade.
Yeah,
but like Tool's first exposure, I could probably name that lineup as a music nerd. Belly played, Rage Against the Machine played.
Yep.
And nobody knew who they were.
Yeah, that was way back in the day, bro.
That was such a great lineup.
Yeah.
And then the second year was when Pearl Jam was on it, right? What it was like, it was like more Seattle.
It was like Pearl Jam, Stone Temple Pilots, Alice in Chains. Who else?
I think L7.
Yeah, L7. I forgot if Soundgarden was there or not. I can't remember. If
I think it was Soundgarden.
Yeah. Because I saw all those.
I think the Butthole Surfers were on that. I think because they alienated everybody because they are like insane.
Yeah, and then the following years, that's when Cypress Hill almost became like the headliner each year
Yeah,
at Lollapalooza.
that was the one I went to.
Yeah.
The second
I-
stage was awesome because I really love the band Superchunk. I don't know if you guys are into
Yeah,
that, but
I
like
know who that is.
Superchunk, that was the first time I saw them live, and they were awesome. And Moby was on the second stage too, when I had no idea who he was,
Yeah.
and I didn't think he was very good, and I still feel the same. But just saying, I saw
Yep.
Moby for a moment.
All right. Don't forget the number one rule. No, I'm just kidding.
Exactly.
I saw one Lollapalooza, but it was like after like, and I remember it was the tour when people started really talking shit about Lollapalooza. Like they're like, oh, it's way too commercial. It was like 98, maybe 97, 98. No. It was after. Well, actually, no, you're right. The Metallica one is when people really jumped off the bridge for 'em. It was the one with Tool, Korn. Was it Tool, Korn, Snoop?
That's when they put the rule about a band appearing twice.
But Tool shredded it at Lollapalooza.
Sure.
They were incredible. It was off of Anima, so it was sometime after 96, and they played like mostly Anima songs. Like,
Yeah.
Why do you say that?
so
I never really knew.
who Tool?
No, I know how to say the word tool. Anima.
Oh, Anima. I think it's Anima, or some people say Anima. But I think it's
Anima.
Eric Miller's with you on Superchunk.
Yeah.
I love Superchunk, man. I've seen Superchunk so many times. I saw them.
That was the guy from
There was a tour where they were ending with a cover of Born to Run, and it was unbelievable.
Hell yeah.
Really?
But I love Bruce Springsteen, and I just dropped like an entire ball of like sticky like
cocaine.
crack. So I'm just gonna try to find that really quick. So I'm gonna step on it.
Yeah.
So
And hey, who doesn't love the boss, bro? Come on.
Totally.
Right? I had an argument about this. With Curtis.
Oh,
I'm from Long Island, and
it's like arguing him about if Rosetta's good, bro. I mean, it's a waste of time.
Well, I guess so. I mean, I feel like it's like you like Billy Joel, you like Bruce Springsteen. And I'm from Long Island, and I really don't like Billy Joel at all. I think he's kind of cheesy and a hack. And like he got very upset. But that's not as upset as people get.
Billy Joel's got some tunes though.
I'm
I'm not like a fan, but he's got some tunes.
Yeah, he has a few. But
So
Bruce
Mac
Springsteen's got, like,
is
an
Mac
album.
from Superchunk?
Hmm?
Is Mac from Superchunk?
Yes,
Okay.
he is. I was in love with Laura. She's the bassist. They were dating when they first started.
Oh
And
shit.
I was like in 10th grade, and I was like had a huge crush on her.
Oh wow, the new Rush tour. Oh man, I know that set you back.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm at a point now. There's not really too many. Like Oasis was one of the last ones where I'm like, man, if somebody that I've never seen, where I'm like, if I have a chance, I gotta go see. Like a lot of those people are dead now. Like Prince would have been like,
Right.
that would have been like the one where I'd be like, whatever has to be done, move heaven and earth, I would have to see Prince. That would have been the one.
I saw Prince. I saw Prince at the Pantages. I sat and this was literally where you got in line, paid for tickets, and the tickets came out. It wasn't like you like bought them on StubHub or what. It was just random tickets that shot out of the machine. We ended up dead center, first row, right in front of his microphone stand, dude. That's how I saw Prince.
So
dude.
sick,
It was
dude.
fucking incredible, dude.
That's amazing.
Never fucking forget that, dude. And it was a small venue too, so it was like, I mean, it was such a fucking awesome show. I couldn't believe it.
I've only been to 2 shows in the last like decade, and one of them was a iHeartRadio show in Vegas that I got sent to for my old job. And it was like a crazy lineup. It made no sense. It was like Kelly Clarkson and the Foo Fighters and Jelly Roll and like I can't remember Travis Scott. It was really bizarre. It was actually 2 days, and the lineup over the 2 days was crazy. But I only went to the second day. And 30 Seconds to Mars. And I'm going to tell you right now, that was the worst performance I have ever seen in my entire. I don't like that band to begin with, and I think Jared Leto unfortunately hasn't really been cool since my so-called life. But that was the worst performance I have ever seen of any band. He came out wearing.
I was saying, damn.
Oh no, he came out wearing like it was like an umpire uniform, kind of, or like football armor. Maybe it was like white and had spikes on each shoulder. right? So he kind of looked like a 3D printed set somebody would make for like a G.I. Joe classified figure as like an add-on piece. That's all I could think when he came out. And he looked so dumb. Like he had giant sunglasses on, and he looked like he was out of like I don't know, like Mad Max. And then so like right before that, Foo Fighters were on, and they were amazing. And like really amazing. My daughter was with me, and she like was never into them, and she was like absolutely transfixed. Well, Public Enemy opened, by the way, to make this even weirder.
Sweet.
And then Dave Grohl cursed more than me, and I curse so much I'm like holding back because it's
you don't have to hold back. It's fine.
What?
I said you don't have to hold back. It's fine.
Okay. So he cursed. I couldn't believe how much he had said fuck, and then 30 Seconds to Mars come out after. I don't know why they were after. And he fucking tripped on a bottle of water that was on the stage and fell in his ass. And he said, "Oh, fuck." And then he said, "I'm so sorry for cussing everybody." And I was like, this is the least rock and roll moment I've ever seen in my entire life.
Exactly.
It was the lamest thing.
He wasn't like being ironic.
No, that's what I thought at first.
I
I
know.
mean, but it was really funny. It was like watching a movie that you like hate watch. But then last year, and this is actually the day that I met you at Lehigh, I went to see Charlie XCX with my daughter.
That's right. I remember you saying that.
And that was, so I don't know how many people like her, but like I love all. See, this is what happens when you have me on a show, is we're just talking about music and not toys.
Whatever, dude. It's fine.
Yeah, no, that's what it's about.
It's whatever else comes up.
Exactly.
I mean, records, I collect records much more than toys. But so that show and her last album, her newest album came out yesterday.
Mhm.
But her last album was like this huge phenomenon, but didn't really make it to radio, but it was amazing. And that show was actually one of the best shows I have ever seen. And I've seen like Neil Young at like his last great tour, so Bruce Springsteen. I've seen so many shows. I saw a ton of bands at their peak in the 90s.
Yeah.
This show was crazy. And it was because it was like a whole generation of kids. I mean, I'm going to go into like a long story. I don't want to go into too long of a story and bore people, but there's like this song.
As long as it's good.
She wrote about Lorde, right? So Lorde and her had some sort of like disagreement, and people figured out that it was about Lorde. So Lorde like texted her and with a verse to add to the song. So they put out a remix, and that's like this phrase, "Let's work it out in the remix," which like people say, I guess now came from, right? And so but most of the remix was, most of her verse was about how she didn't mean to be rude, but like had felt really uncomfortable, like in her, like in front of cameras and stuff. And it was like a lot of like body shaming and, whatever. And Lorde wasn't there, but she played the song and played the Lorde verse without singing it. And it's like very iconic for like a generation. And the entire stadium, and this was at the Atlantic Center. She sold out Atlantic Center 4 nights in a row. Those tickets were, those actually might have been like $215 a ticket. The whole stadium sung that verse, and it was like it was moving. Like I felt the entire stadium move. It was amazing.
That's
and
cool.
like I've been to punk shows where you like have the chant along verses and whatever. It was like so cool. And then that song, I Love It. Like, I smashed your car into a bridge. I'm not going to sing. I almost started to.
Yeah, we don't want to get copyrighted.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know if you know that song, but she closed with it. It was pretty great. That's the end of my story.
Hell yeah.
I know Lorde's Royals. That's a cool song.
Yes. Yeah.
So it was kind of like a beef, like a female pop singer beef, like Drake and Kendrick Lamar.
Yeah, but like it wasn't. It was like we say, it's more like we say that we're going to make plans and we never do anything. It was not really like a beef.
It was like two former friends that are really like.
It's like, why don't we get along, kind of thing.
Yeah, I told this
and the
story.
song's called "Girl's So Confusing," and the chorus is, "It's so confusing to be a girl." So it's not really. That's not really what it's about. But and I could not have been more out of place at this concert. Like there were some dads there, and I was one, obviously, like, I went with my daughter, but I was like, everybody was like if almost no straight men were there at all. It was almost all women, and everybody was in their 20s, and most of them were on a lot of coke.
Hot.
Because basically, this album sounds like if you she grew up like on listening like in a rave scene, I guess. So it's like pop music that's really well written with interesting lyrics, but like produced by rave producers, kind of. It's interesting. I like it because it's kind of like pushes boundaries.
That's right up your alley, Hedgehog.
Yeah. What was your? You had a story late night?
Oh, I was just talking. Well, thinking back on concerts and events that like kind of just like blew your mind, or like you weren't really anticipating. And I was like I said, when I was in my teens, like, you know, before even before I got into high school, I was big into the punk scene because I mean I grew up in the 80s, so obviously the punk scene was huge in the 80s. So by the time I got into high school, I started getting more into like ska and reggae and stuff like that. So I was huge into reggae, and I was going to a lot of reggae shows. And one of my buddies that I went to high school with was still huge into like punk and like kind of metal and stuff like that. So he was going to different types of shows, kind of thing. And I think it was right before we graduated, or right on the cusp, or maybe the summer that we graduated in '91. He called me up and he's like, "Hey man, I got a couple extra tickets to a show that I'm going to go to. You want to come?" And I was like, "Yeah, sure." So I went with him, and it was and I wasn't aware of the band at the time because I was, like I said, I was heavy into the reggae thing. So we walked in and checking out this show, and it was Gwar. It was when they released Scum Dogs of Earth, and yeah, it was like, what,
like fully Gwar, the whole thing.
Gwar, right? Yeah, like dude, I was like, what the fuck did I just walk into? Like, I had no idea what I was getting myself into, and it was crazy.
And that must have been amazing.
Yeah, it was. I was like, what in the hell is this all about? But it was rocking, man. It was so much fun. It was just like one of those things, like I said, well, totally what I was thinking, like a punk show, or like, you know what I mean? Like, and those guys came out, and I was like, what are these guys doing? Like,
they're not punk. There's something else.
It's like a fast metal, just weirdness, man. But their live show is what the experience is all about. And it's just,
costumes,
holy shit, dude.
Don't they have like a big monster or something,
dude,
like that?
It's there's so much shit going on that stage. There's fucking flying body parts, and I mean it's madness, dude. I'm like, and I'm just thinking to myself the whole time, how are these dudes playing their instruments and all that shit that they're wearing they are rocking. It's like, what the hell?
It must be so hot in those.
Oh my god, yeah.
But
it's like when you go to Disney and there's like somebody all dressed up as like Goofy or something, and all I can think is like, it must be so hot and smelly in there. That's what I imagine. It's even worse inside.
Yeah,
whatever the guys in Gwar are wearing.
Imagine busting a full blown rock show in something like that. It's ridiculous.
But Jay's story about 30 Seconds to Mars had me think of a question. What's the worst concert you've ever seen? 30 Seconds to Mars, I guess, is Jay, if you've got another one, but I've got one ready to go. Aerosmith. And
really? You didn't like Aerosmith?
I like Aerosmith, but it was during the after Armageddon came out, when, like, what was it? Don't Want to Miss a Thing was like a number one song.
Right.
And it was like, they played so many of those ballads that like I wasn't as much into. Like Don't Want to Miss a Thing was the big song.
Right.
And then Amazing. Crying was actually like Crying, but like, and I didn't think they were that good, man. Like I was disappointed. Like I bought tickets to go see them. Like I like Aerosmith, and it was not a great show.
You know what? They're getting back together. I bet they'll be great now.
I saw Aerosmith. I want to say it was in the
Monster Magnet opened.
It was definitely around maybe like
Monster Magnet.
It was definitely around 99 or 2000. I saw Aerosmith, and the Black Crowes opened up for him. And I love the Black Crowes back then when they, so that was I enjoyed it. I mean, like I said, it was one off of the bucket list of like huge bands that I always wanted to see. So yeah, I'm kind of surprised. One, I mean, I don't really recall a concert that I could say, oh, that was a terrible show or whatever. But one moment in a concert that I was at that I thought was it was shocking to me, and you won't believe this. 9 Inch Nails and David Bowie were doing a tour together back in the day. Yeah, so we got tickets to go see it, and they were doing 2 nights. Depending on whatever night you got, they were flip-flopping headliners. So the night that we went, Nine Inch Nails opened the show. But it was like a Nine Inch Nails concert. So it was kind of like you were, I mean, probably 99% of the people that were in that show were there to see Nails.
Right.
So Nine Inch Nails opened the show. And then, you know, obviously they closed out and they freaking left the stage. And David Bowie came up and David Bowie started performing. And literally as soon as David Bowie started performing, you know, you could see the lights like going around the arena. The entire arena just started emptying out.
No freaking way.
Dude, by the time he was into like his third song, there was probably like 70% of the whole arena was empty.
That's bullshit. That's crazy.
Like it was like, dude, all those people were all there to see Nine Inch Nails. They were not there to see David Bowie, which is like it's wild. You think about,
but I would think like Nine Inch Nails fans would be like aware not just who David Bowie is, but like David Bowie, capital D, capital
Dude,
B.
yeah, absolutely. I mean, I was like, are you kidding me? Like that. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I was a little bummed when Nine Inch Nails took the stage first. I was like, oh man, that means Bowie's gonna close the show. But it was what it was, and it was a great Nine Inch Nails show. It's not, I mean, it's not like you missed out on anything. We got a great show. But as soon as Bowie took the stage, dude, you could just see like the exit aisles going up the stairs from each like set of rows. You could just see all the people just leaving the entire stadium. And it was like, wow, is this really happening? It was wild, dude. It was like the craziest thing I'd ever seen at a concert.
I don't think like the appreciation for Bowie that we have now existed then, because he was still putting out semi-new music. Like I'm Afraid of Americans had come out, right? That was like the album that Trent Reznor produced.
Mm-hmm.
I would have wanted to go see Nine Inch Nails more than Bowie at that point.
Yeah.
I mean, I would still about myself now.
Yeah.
Funny. First of all, $1.99 super chat from Rob Zamora. Thanks, Rob. He said, I saw Justin Bieber first row with backstage passes, and you admit it. No, I'm just kidding. No, that's awesome, man. Nine Inch Nails actually is playing tonight. They're at the Rock in Newark, in New Jersey. And I really wanted to go see it because this tour they're doing looks freaking amazing. The way they're doing the show, my understanding is that it's basically like there's two parts to it. There's like a Nine Inch Nails, like industrial rock portion of the concert.
Yeah.
And then there's almost like a DJ set almost. Mm-hmm. Like I've seen clips of it online and it's like,
yeah. I just saw tickets for Nine Inch Nails are going up, and I'm almost tempted to grab some, but I mean, like I've seen Nails 3 times now, so
I've seen them 3 times as well. I think.
Yeah,
I've never seen them, but when
so good.
You know what's funny? Like
Trent Reznor, very bad.
The Nine Inch Nails today is definitely not the Nine Inch Nails of like 91. You know what I mean? 95. Like I mean, they've definitely. I'm not to say that like they've matured, but they're definitely not putting on the shows that they used to put on. But it's a whole different experience, their show. And I've seen it online, and it looks amazing. I mean, if you've never seen Nails, I mean, yeah, it would definitely probably be so.
Dude, I saw them. The first time I saw them was not in the 90s. It had to be the summer of 2006 because I remember because I had surgery on my knee for an ACL repair. Mm-hmm. And I went to the concert anyway, and it was like one of those, those amphitheater places where like the GA general admission is like the grass field behind like the amphitheater part, and it was at the amphitheater in Camden where I've seen a billion different shows. What's up, Cameron? Yeah. And I had my leg was all bandaged up or whatever, and I had my crutches, and like we were just like going nuts. I'm like shaking my crutch, and it was like almost like a greatest hits show. So they played like 2/3 of Pretty Hate Machine, like all that stuff, and it was incredible.
Loved that album so much. That was what my hair. I had so like when I was in 9th grade, I really really loved Nine Inch Nails. It was like my favorite band, and I had Trent Reznor's hair, which is funny to say now because I have no hair, from that album where it was like shaved all here, right, and then just long.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And I didn't pull it off very well, but I was in 9th grade, so I didn't really know.
Awesome. Hell yeah.
So that's it, man. Pretty cool. How about this before we maybe switch to another topic? Last one. I mentioned earlier about like, was Oasis the last like big thing that I'd want to see that I still could? I guess the one thing that I'd want to see that I haven't seen would be some version of a Pink Floyd show, whether it be, Roger Waters or David Gilmour, or God forbid if they ever got together. I had tickets for Roger Waters' The Wall. Me and two of my close buddies that we've seen a billion shows together. We had tickets to The Wall, but it was when Victoria was pregnant with Chase, for the first time or whatever. And like, she was like, it was just like, she was just having like a bad night, and she was like upset about like stuff or whatever. And like, I felt so bad leaving her, and I got in the car and started driving down to Philly. And I was like, I got like 10 minutes away and I couldn't take it anymore, just in my head. And I was like, I like pulled over, like, could we text back then? I guess we could. Yeah, I'm sure we did, because it had to be 2011 or 2010. And texted my buddies. I'm like, yo, I can't make it. And I just turned around and went back and just stayed with my wife. And I was like, at the time I was like, I got to be there for her. You know what I mean? Like I got to, although after having two kids now, like I'd have been like, yeah, I could have gone to the show. But it's like, man, I was like, if I get the chance again, I would love to go see one of them at least, one half or the other. What about you guys? Is there anything that you haven't seen that now you would still, because now like we're older now, so we think about the expense of it. It can be a pain in the ass to kind of go and all that stuff. Anybody out there that you haven't seen that you would still put forth the effort to go see?
What do you got, Jay?
So like, I'm going to have a really great answer for this in about an hour and be really annoyed. Bob Dylan is like the one person who is still alive that I'm annoyed I haven't seen yet. And I imagine that's that's not going to happen. But I think like actually this Sleep I would love to see. I've never seen them. And Electric Wizard, who I don't even know if they're still touring, who are like another like doom metal band. I think that's what I can think of offhand.
Nice.
Anybody for you late night?
I'd hate, like I said, as a kid in the 80s, total freaking metal geek. And I saw everybody from Judas Priest to Motley Crue, Dio, freaking the Scorpions. I mean, you name it. If it was in the 80s, Iron Maiden, everybody. I mean, I saw all the metal bands. Yeah, I saw all the 80s bands as a kid. Stupid as it may sound, I've still never, to this day, I've never seen Metallica live. So I would love to see Metallica.
Me neither, man. I would go see Metallica.
What's weird, and it's like on a totally different musical spectrum, as far as a newer band that I would love to see live, there's a band called Glass Beams that I would love to see live, because I just think I love their music. Is freaking fantastic. I would love to see them
Masks,
live.
Right?
Yeah. They're freaking awesome. I just love their sound. It's so freaking funky, man. I love it.
Yeah, I like them, and another band. I don't know how to say the name. It's like Karambik. Yeah, they're freaking awesome too. That bass player is freaking fine as hell. Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Also, their drummer is like a metronome. That guy is like not.
Yeah. That's probably, like I said, that's it. Metallica and Glass Beams.
I have another one.
Karambik, if I could see them too. Either one of them, that would be fucking awesome.
Yeah, I would like to see Pavement again. I saw Pavement. That's crazy.
Hell yeah. That's crazy, bro. That's wild.
Yeah.
I saw Pumpkins at the Spectrum during the Melancholy tour, and it was either the night or the night before or right around the same time the keyboardist died. That like OD'd on heroin with Jimmy Chamberlain and died.
Wow.
Crazy.
So that was crazy. Yeah. I feel like Trevor's been to like he's like the Forrest Gump of concerts. Like he's been at like every like milestone concert. He was at the first Lollapalooza. He saw Metallica with Cliff Burton. Like that's incredible.
That's insane.
Oh, me and Trevor could probably go toe to toe on concert tickets for sure. I've got some shows in pocket, man. Trust me. I went to a lot. I did get to see Bob Dylan though. That was cool. I saw Bob Dylan in 2000, so that was really cool to actually get to see him live. That was cool. And Springsteen. I don't know why I didn't think of that. Springsteen. I've never seen Springsteen live.
I
And
saw
fuck me if I
Springsteen
die
on his
before
birthday, and it rained, and it was in MetLife Stadium, right? I guess in Jersey. Am I right?
Mm-hmm.
That
You're
makes
from
sense.
Jersey, right?
Yeah. That's the name of the
stadium
stadium. That's what you
name.
mean.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I don't know. I forgot. I like a brain dead. It was crazy because it rained twice and he took these long breaks. It was like the latest Bruce Springsteen concert there had ever been, I guess. And I lost the contact in the parking lot after driving there myself. And we had the worst tickets. And I'm sitting, we're like in the back corner, all the way like in the corner back row. And I watched the whole thing. Excuse me. Like a fucking pirate. And it was still one of the best shows I've ever seen. His mom came out with a huge birthday cake. It was fantastic. That was a great show.
Yeah.
I saw the Stones at the old Giant Stadium, the Rolling Stones. That was pretty cool.
I would love to see if I could see any band in their prime. I want to see the Stones right after Let It Bleed came out.
Oh, hell yeah.
One of my favorite albums ever.
Hell yeah.
So when I was a kid, I mean, the first singer I ever liked was Michael Jackson, but my first favorite band was Guns N' Roses. And then, of course, they broke up or whatever. And I never saw like the bastardized version with Buckethead or anything like that. But then when they finally reunited, I took my sister, and I think was that 2017, I want to say. We saw them at Lincoln Financial Field, and it was awesome. It was so much fun. They're touring in North America again this year, and they're going to be at MetLife Stadium, so I might go back.
That's
nice. Cool. Hell yeah.
I saw Iron Maiden at Nassau Coliseum twice. The second time I saw them, the drummer hit a security guard driving because he was drunk. And they were going to arrest him, but they couldn't because they thought there would be a riot. So they let him play and then arrested him after. But he's like, he's British. So it was like, I don't know what they charged him with when they were on the rest of the tour. But I found that out after, and I thought that was hilarious and like very odd. I saw the Stooges also at Nassau Coliseum. That was sorry. Both of those were at Jones Beach.
I saw the Stooges open up for Iggy Pop and the Stooges. I saw them open up for the Pretenders. I went to go.
No way!
Yeah, that was fucking rad.
Pretenders is a good get.
Fuck yeah, dude! I love the Pretenders.
When did you see that?
Oh God, that was probably in like 80, 87, 88. I was a little kid. I was like a teenager. It was fucking rad though.
This was like 2005. It was not the same Stooges.
Yeah. So yeah,
I couldn't believe it. Still shirtless and like running around. It was hard to take seriously, but also awesome. Sort of like, right in between.
I saw Rage Against the Machine. Check this out. So I saw Rage Against the Machine. Guess who opened up for him? Wu-Tang.
Nice.
Wu-Tang during when Triumph came out, and that was the Wu-Tang Clan's last song before Rage went on. And Rage kicked ass. Rage was awesome. They sounded great.
I saw Rage 4 times, dude. I fucking loved Rage from 91 all the way.
The only thing that sucked was, so it was in Camden, right? So it was right by Philly. And they had a part where they had somebody come out and read this thing about Mumia Abu-Jamal.
Yep.
Like the whole move thing.
Yeah, he was all about
and it's that. Like, there's like way too much of the crowd like started booing. And it was like, dude, do you know who the fuck you came to see? Like,
right.
who Rage Against the Machine is?
Yeah,
like, right.
Exactly.
That's the sort of thing. It's like, do you not hear the lyrics?
Yeah. And De La Roca was kind of cool about it. Like, he didn't like yell at him or anything. He was just like, thank you to everyone who listened with respect. And they kind of went back into like, whatever. So it was a great show, but that part kind of sucked.
This was
a good one.
Roots play. Speaking of Wu-Tang, I saw the Roots play, and they brought out different rappers for smaller sets. So like the Roots were playing, and then like they would bring out Big Daddy Kane, but they had Raekwon and Ghostface, and did a bunch of songs from dude, what the fuck is the name of this album?
36 Chambers?
No, the first. Well, they did, but there was the Raekwon solo album that was amazing.
Oh, okay,
Only built for Cuban Links.
Yeah,
like one of the greatest hip hop albums of all time. And Ghostface is my favorite rapper, and they did like some stuff from Supreme Clientele because that had just come out. That was a great show, but it was like Big Daddy Kane, a bunch of like, older rappers from the 80s. Really, really cool.
I got kind of the same experience as Jonathan. I went to go see, and that was I want to say it was like in the early 2000s when Wu-Tang was touring with Rage, and they were doing a show. We went to go see it, but at the time, Old Dirty Bastard or either I know it was Old Dirty Bastard. He got run in with some like legal troubles or whatever. So
Mhm.
Wu-Tang actually canceled, but a few of the members showed up, and in place of Wu-Tang, the Roots performed. And then
Sick.
like you, a couple of the I don't know if it was Raekwon or a couple of other guys came up from Wu-Tang, and they started doing Wu-Tang songs with backup
That's
by the Roots.
really cool.
Yeah, and they were the opener for Rage Against the Machine at that concert. That was way fucking cool.
I saw the Roots in the Prospect Park Bandshell in Brooklyn, which is
Mhm.
like a really cool small venue, but it's not small, like, because there's it's a park, but like if you get close up, it doesn't feel like a big show. I saw them like I think 3 times total, and they're just so good live, so good, so tight, it's wild.
Hell yeah! Hey, JMax77 says he played with Helmet. What the fuck? That's cool, man.
Dude, that's one of the best shows I've ever been to. I love Helmet.
Dude, fucking Helmet rock back in the day, dude. I love
Unsung?
Helmet, dude. Yeah, hell yeah, dude.
I fucking love Helmet, dude. I saw them
Helmet.
on the Betty tour, and I was young, and I waited outside at the Roseland, and the poor fucking Paige Hamilton, he walked. I don't know. I don't remember who the fuck I bothered, but I said, "Can you play Born Annoying?" Right? Because that's like their first song, and I love that song. It's like their first single when they were on AMRAP still. And he was like really disrespectful, and I felt so dumb. And they come out for the encore, and he's like, "This is for that annoying ass kid." And they played Born Annoying.
Nice.
Which is like, to my understanding, they never played live because it's like a song from like 87. And I wouldn't.
Everybody probably loved it.
That's fucking awesome.
That was great.
You're like, that was me. That was me.
J-Mac playing with Helmet.
That's awesome. Yeah, that's fucking rad, dude. That's freaking
Schmerb
rad.
mentions Led Zeppelin, so this is a pretty good one that I can tell. I got me and my 2 buddies, Frank and Brad, who I mentioned earlier. We went to go see Page and Plant.
Man, I missed that.
It was so good. And like the only Page and Plant song I remember right now is Most High, and I still love that song. But obviously the coolest part of the concert was they did a bunch of Zeppelin songs. They did a ton of Zeppelin songs. That was amazing. And then the next day, we went down to South, that was in Philly. And then we went back to Rutgers. And then we went the very next day, we went down to Camden to see fucking Ozfest.
Nice. Hell yeah.
That was so dope.
Hell yeah. Yeah, I totally regret not going to Page and Plant, dude. I don't know why I missed that show. I should have went to that.
That was 98 as well. 98 was crazy.
Yeah. It was like, I mean, I was totally into the concert scene back then. So I don't know. Like I said, I even saw the tour coming in, and I was like, oh man, this is, just one of those things that I didn't do. And I regret it to this day, not going to see that.
I'm going to run to the restroom real quick. I'll be right back.
Yep. It's all good.
I feel like staying out in a concert where it's raining like that, if you can make it through and the band is like great, it's kind of worth it. It makes the experience better.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean,
you may, get very sick. So it's not always better, but that was like the Sonic Youth show I was talking about was amazing because it wasn't pouring like I never saw. It was like just a lot of rain.
Yeah. That's one of those things. If, like I said, depending on if you outside concerts are cool, but I mean, I'm definitely down for like arena concerts, and a lot of the shows that I've been to throughout the years have always been like small venues. So it's like
same.
That. I mean, especially in like the punk shows and stuff like that. I mean, you get these small venues where it's like all general admission, and it's just a pit from the first drop of the beat to the closing note. You know what I mean? So it's like. Yeah, that's the experience. I mean, you just walk out of that show just dripping in sweat and just having the time of your life with a bunch of extra bumps and bruises you didn't walk in with, So
yeah, man, Long Island had this in the 90s, this amazing like local punk and hardcore scene, like to the point that like the guy from Taking Back Sunday, Eddie, right? He was like in one of those bands, like all of these emo bands that became very popular from Long Island were like spun out of the scene, but national like tours would come and play in Long Island, but they would play in like VFW halls, and there was something called the PWAC that was like this small, it was People with AIDS Coalition, I guess, that did like a lot of charity work, but at night they would have shows to raise money, and it was a small venue, and they would pack in with like bands like Earth Crisis I saw there, and like Snapcase, and all these bands that were huge hardcore bands at the time, and the pits were wild. And like, but I wasn't afraid really of them at that age. I saw Avail. Avail are one of my favorite punk bands still from the 90s by far. They came by like 3 times. They were like huge. back then. The Queers played there. It was really cool because that's what I did every weekend, like in the 10th and 11th grade.
Yeah.
And it kept us all safe, quite frankly.
Yeah,
We were
absolutely.
going
Yeah. Concerts were like I said, that was like our weekend getaway thing instead of going out and drinking and acting a fucking fool. I mean, we went to shows, you know what I mean?
Right.
And
And like it's funny because that scene, like growing up in a scene that was just the same people at these shows every time, you know, you go to a show, you know, you're going to see your friends from different parts of Long Island. That like your parents are dropping you off because you can't drive yet, and like their parents are also, and it's fine.
Yeah.
But then, so you don't see each other that often. Like, you know, it's becoming more and more involved in this. I'm going to bring it to toys. Watch, because I've been thinking about this, becoming more and more involved, just like in this community. It reminds me, it's like kind of the same thing in a way. There's something about it. Like it's the same people, you become friends with them, and there's just like the people you see everywhere. It's kind of cool. It's cool like that.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know, like I said, I mean, in any group or of conversation like this topic, I mean, especially in this toy community, I mean, all the cool people that you've met throughout this community, you'll see how many of us have all shared that like similar experience in concerts, you know what I mean, and in music, in our love for music. It's crazy where we've all been there and like, dude, we were at those shows and we remember those, you know, those bands and stuff. It's just wild, man. Just wild. Like, I feel bad for the generations now that are like coming through, that concerts aren't a thing that they can, that are like readily available and affordable for them to like go. Like I said, for me as a kid, our thing was, and it was like routine. Every time the Sunday Times came to our door, I'd open up the entertainment section and there was all the concerts that were coming to town. And it was like, okay, I got to mow like 4 or 5 lawns to get to this show. I got to wash the car to get to that show. You
There's still shows, man. There's still scenes like, out there. Like
there are,
but it's like it's not as readily affordable to kids like it was to us. Like I said, $17-18 for a show to like the Scorpions or Iron Maiden. Are you kidding me? Try to buy Iron Maiden tickets today. They're like $800. You know what I mean? It's like, what kids got that? You know what I mean? It's crazy. Back then, we went to like 2 or 3 shows a month.
You could see Helmet still. They play every month, like in like the Academy in the city. But like those are bands for us. I don't think you have a lot of bands that are playing for, you know. I mean, there are indie bands that are touring that are new, you know, like Gen
That's
Z
what I
bands.
mean. I bet there's tons of bands, especially if you live near a city.
But it's like so hard for them to even tour and make money. So I don't think the way that industry works now is like
the industry is fucked.
Bizarre
and
shitty.
It is.
I wanted to go back to, I think it might have been Heinrich. If it wasn't you, I apologize. But somebody had said that their worst concert was Lenny Kravitz.
Oh,
and I'm
wow,
surprised
really?
by that. Like, I saw Lenny Kravitz once when he headlined the Horde Festival. So it was like Lenny Kravitz, Blues Traveler, Rusted Root, Eric Miller, Please Cover Your Ears, 311, Please Cover Your Ears Again, who I really liked at the time, and I still kind of like. And they were all awesome. And Lenny Kravitz was the headliner, and he was the one I was the least focused on. And he fucking kicked ass, dude. He was so good. Like I was so impressed.
I was a huge Lenny Kravitz fan back in the day, dude. I saw Kravitz twice, and he rocks, dude.
He was the best one on the card.
I loved Lenny Kravitz back in the day, and it was cool too. Let's see who. I know Pink opened up for him at one show. I can't remember who the opener was at the other show though. But yeah, Lenny Kravitz, dude. I can't believe you would say that was the worst concert. Wow.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to give a thumbs down to every band that you mentioned at this concert, personally.
Who, me?
Yeah.
Oh,
like
really?
Rusted Root, especially, and I don't know if I've ever heard them, but I know that's how I would feel.
It sounds like they might have went
311, especially 311.
I freaking love
sure,
man.
I'm with you.
Grassroots, like, oh man, like. I love 311. 311, the self-titled album was good. Visit, My Stony Baby. Oh my God.
You're just saying words that I don't know.
Yeah.
Just booming things.
I tell you what, that was when they first became
I don't know.
And like Down was like a big song. I tell you what, when the first chord of Down came on at Horde Festival, that crowd lost its fucking mind. It was awesome. It was really
there's no accounting for taste. I'm just messing around.
I know, I don't care. People are allowed to like different things. It's fine.
Yes,
absolutely.
And it is funny because Eric, by the way, Eric Miller, at the same time, he's a musician too, by the way. So he's actually a musician. So he's coming at it from a different perspective than I am. As far as I'm wondering if that's a taste thing or he just thinks they suck at their instruments. It might be both. I don't know, but I like 311. So.
I got one. Okay, so let's show our age here. What was the very first concert you went to?
I was trying. How do I not? I don't remember this. Why do I not know the first one?
I do.
No, go ahead.
It was Cracker and the Meat Puppets when Cracker had that song "Low" that was popular, and the Meat Puppets had It was right after Lake of Fire was covered by Nirvana, and they had a song "Backwater." Was their song? It was the one like Meat Puppets have been around since like 1980, and they used to be a hardcore band. That was like their one popular song. That was a great concert too.
What do you got, John? You can't remember? Come on, dude.
The first concert I went to. I know that sounds dumb, but like,
it's okay, dude. You can admit it. Backstreet Boys was cool at one point.
I've never seen Backstreet Boys.
What about you?
Me?
Well, Jonathan thinks about it.
1980, Chicago.
Wow.
My mom took me to see Chicago.
Okay. What was the first concert though that you saw that like on your own?
It was a metal show. Oh fuck! It was either Iron Maiden or Judas Priest. I can't remember which one. It might have been Judas Priest was the first live concert I went to.
What was the first concert we saw together?
You ever see the movie Judas Priest Parking Lot? It's unrelated, but related.
No.
Mm-hmm. You should. It's just a documentary from like 1985 in which a guy walks around a parking lot before a Judas Priest show and just interviews people, and it's fucking hilarious. It is like awesome. People are insane. It's so incredibly funny.
It would take me back to my. Give me some.
Trevor, I'm just going to ask you questions about all these shows.
Hell yeah!
On that road trip to Zolocon.
The first concert I remember was like a local band, the Potholes. They were a bunch of guys that went to my high school, and they put out like their own CD and everything. That's the first one like I remember
as a live show. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
What was the loudest show you've ever been to?
Loudest?
Yes.
Oh man.
Well, I'm also a dance music fan, so
that's
like,
okay.
Yeah.
You could dance to loud music. That's not what I meant.
No. I meant like I don't know that like that probably is louder decibel wise than any concert I've been to. When you're like in a club.
Fair. That's what I meant when I said that's okay. Like it counts.
My mom just walked by and schooled us all. She's all the Beatles, 1964.
All right,
fucking take that. I mean, what are you gonna do, right?
Don't forget the number one rule.
Yeah, exactly.
I think we got a winner.
And we'll see you guys later.
Faith No More and Helmet. Man, that is the Angel Dust tour. Angel Dust is such a good album. I love that album.
Mm-hmm.
Hell yeah.
Angel Dust was epic, right?
They're in my room.
Angel Dust, that was the album with Epic, wasn't it?
No, it was the after that.
Oh.
It was the album after Epic. Had Midlife Crisis was the single. It was like too weird to really be that popular, I think.
Mm-hmm.
That album was great.
Rage Against the Machine was a loud show. I mean, only because, like I said, it was general admission, small ass venue in the Palladium, and it was fucking blaring loud. I mean, and they were rocking, dude. So it's just like
most of my concerts were outside, though. Like the only ones I remember being inside, I saw 9 Inch Nails at the Hard Rock,
exactly
at Showboat in AC. That was inside. And then the other ones that are inside were inside like arenas, like Page and Plant was inside the Wells Fargo Center. Smashing Pumpkins was at the Old Spectrum. Smashing Pumpkins was pretty early. Like I didn't start going to concerts until like either like senior year in high school and then when I got to college. And then that was like all we did was go to concerts for a while.
Yeah. Well, put it this way: if you walked out of any concert and your ears weren't ringing for the next hour, the concert wasn't
Right.
loud enough. You know what I mean? It wasn't
Right.
loud enough. So
Yeah.
that'll kind of put a point on it.
So the loudest concert I went to was actually, it was for most of my lifetime, I would have said it was L7. Oddly, they were loud as they were great and so loud. I was like deaf, and that was when I was going to
answer to that one.
After that, this was beat when, like in 2006, by, believe it or not, Neil Young and Crazy Horse.
Nice.
Really?
And yes, because it was like the last tour he did with Crazy Horse, playing like really the louder like songs. And this was at the Barclays again. It's like a whole auditorium. And it was so loud. And I went with my dad. I got tickets from my dad because that was something we both loved. And
Nice.
at one point, there was a song on that album he was touring behind that had this point where he just started playing, like, it was like feedback, and he would like hit the guitar. It sounded like Sonic Youth almost. But he took Sonic Youth, I think, on tour with him in the 80s. And my dad looks at me, and it was so loud. And my dad's like, "Is his guitar broken?" I was like, "Oh man."
I got my answer though to loudest at least. So when I was in college, ready for this? Stone Pony, Asbury Park, New Jersey, Pitch Shifter, Quicksand, Deftones.
Dude, that's a great show.
It was amazing, dude. I hated Pitch Shifter, but Quicksand was pretty cool, and Deftones was.
I love Quicksand. I saw them twice.
Quicksand was
they
good.
Were great.
Yeah, and then Deftones I thought kicked ass.
Yeah, I would love to. Oh, I saw them too. Actually, I saw them the White Pony tour. At the
I think
Roseland.
that was
really, really loud.
Around the Fur, I think, was the tour I saw them on.
They were really, really good. I love that album. I didn't think that was going to be a great show, and it was great.
Be Quiet and Drive is just one of my favorite songs ever.
That's a great song.
Hell yeah. Yeah, my kid just recently went by himself and his friends. He's a huge Deftones fan. He just went to go see the Deftones.
There you go.
They're huge.
Oh yeah,
kids.
yeah.
New metal is huge with kids. It's so bizarre.
Yeah, it's really cool. It's weird because it's like I was a fan when they came out, not Deftones, but I was a fan when they came out, and then recently in the last few years, my kid became a huge fan of them, and he was like, "Hey, can we go see them in concert?" And I took him to see the Gorillaz. I was like, "Fuck!" I'm like, "The Gorillaz." I'm like, "You guys listen to?" He's like, "Oh yeah." He's like, "I love that." I was like, "Dude, I was listening to the Gorillaz like way back in the early 2000s. Like, what the hell?" I said, You guys are still rocking the Gorillaz?"
I guess.
Yeah, he was like, "Oh yeah." So yeah, me and him went to go see the Gorillaz, and that was so cool to go see that.
Really cool.
Yeah, because it was just like a band like I literally just like forgotten about it. I mean, I hyped the Gorillaz back in the day big time, and I was freaking rocking the Gorillaz. But yeah, I hadn't listened to them in years, and yeah, my kid brought it up, and I was like, "Wait, what? The who?" And he's like, "Yeah, the Gorillaz." I was like, "The Gorillaz?" He's like, "Yeah." I'm like, "Oh fuck, that's cool, man! Like, right on." That was cool. Just, something that kind of comes full circle. Like the Deftones. I mean, the Deftones, but way back in the day, and kids are still full on rocking the Deftones today.
Dude,
I heard this. Did you hear this? They're going to be on the SNL in a couple weeks.
Yeah, they are.
Nice.
Yeah.
Very cool. Hell yeah.
Another band I would love to see live that I never saw is Blur. Speaking of the Gorillaz, that would be great.
Speaking of Oasis.
Speaking of Oasis. And another band that they're not around anymore that I'd love to see, speaking of New Jersey, which like not really a transition there, is Lifetime. Like one of my favorite punk bands ever.
Yeah.
Maybe I don't know if that's like a deep cut or not.
I saw Diggable Planets live in Philly like 2 years ago, and they played a whole concert with a full band. It was
those two albums of theirs are really underrated. Blowout Comb is great.
Yes, Blowout Comb is great, and Reaching is literally top 5 albums. It's so fun.
Yeah.
They played most
of my life in which I listened to a lot of that album.
Yes, dude.
Hell yeah.
Yes. You know how many people I talk to that know about fucking Blowout Comb?
None. Hell yeah, bro.
There's like a lot of people who I guess are into like really like
the eighth wonder, bro. Are you kidding me? Freaking yes, dude.
What? Both of you know it?
Yeah. I mean, I haven't listened to the album in a while. I'm saying it was great, but like it's been a while since I've really delved into it. I was really into Blowout Comb and Stakes Are High by De La Soul, which is an album that I still listen to often.
Shit, yeah.
I would love to see them live, but one of them's unfortunately dead. So I didn't mean to say that so like as a joke, but
no, that wasn't.
De La Soul are amazing.
But De La Soul put out a new album that people were saying was really good. I haven't checked it out yet.
They did, and right, people were saying that it was. I don't remember if it had. Because I know Tribe put that album out after Phife Dawg died, and it had old verses of his. I don't think there are any of those on the on the De La Soul album or not.
Yeah, I don't know. And Tribe was another one. So like literally,
those are the days, dude. De La Soul, Tribe Called Quest, freaking
Midnight Marauders is another top 5 album for me of all time.
Hell yeah,
like beginning to end, no stops.
When the Low End Theory dropped, bro, fucking cancel everything, bro. It was fucking on. That was the fucking album right there, dude. Shit, yeah.
90s, 90s and the 2000s.
Brand Nubian, like all those guys.
Brand Nubian,
dude,
yes,
dude. I was all about that shit, dude.
I was in like 8th grade, so
yeah, those were my high school days, man. Freaking Brand New, freaking De La Soul, Tribe Called Quest, X Clan. Remember when X Clan dropped? Freaking dude, it's fucking.
You finally got me. I don't know who that is.
You don't know who X Clan is?
Nope.
Oh, bro, yeah, you got to get down on some X Clan, bro.
I'm looking it up.
Oh, hell yeah, dude.
I don't like when somebody has a music reference that I don't know. It bothers me.
Black Sheep and Far Side too. From
Black Sheep.
I don't know. I have no idea who this is.
X Clan, yeah.
3 6 Mafia is another group I would like to see live. My friend went to see them recently.
Black Sheep album.
I love Black Sheep. That's right. 3 6 Mafia. I love. Which is not. They're not very. That's not a reference in the East Coast. A lot of people get.
Yeah. Check Funkin' Lesson if you want to listen to X Clan. Funkin' Lesson.
Got it.
Yeah.
I have it up now.
Yeah.
Yes. The whole thing. Just concerts.
Yeah. Dude, I mean, come on.
Do this all day.
Wait, this had Professor X in it.
Yeah.
Oh, well, there you go. I love Public Enemy. I've been listening to Public Enemy recently.
That's another one.
Great time in America to listen to a lot of Public Enemy right now.
Yeah. Or some Rage Against the Machine, bro.
Yeah, we need new. Yeah,
you know what I mean. Yeah,
I've been bumping Fight the Power, picking up my daughter after school with all the suburban like moms, like not really on purpose, but I'll realize that I'm doing it. I'm just like sitting there in my car online. I'm like, you have Fight the Power on really loud, Jack.
It's so funny. It was like 1993. Like we're like, fuck you. I won't do what you tell me. Like everything sucks. You know, we didn't know like the fact that it was like the greatest time in history.
Yeah,
dude,
mid-90s.
Like songs with any sort of the lack of musicians making anything that's like remotely political as a statement right now, given the world.
They're all terrified, dude.
It's like unprecedented that only Bruce Springsteen put out that song.
They're all afraid to get canceled, bro. They're all afraid to get canceled. That's what it is.
I don't think maybe they don't care. I have no idea. It's bonkers. Like I don't understand.
Literally, I think it's what Eric said. They're like they don't want to like they just kind of like hide.
That's why in their time in their high point, that's why I freaking was such a huge fan of Rage Against the Machines because they were not willing to back down. They didn't give up. They still don't. And they all had a point, man. I mean, it was on, bro. They freaking brought the house down every single time. So good.
I'll listen to some of the like punk stuff I grew up with, like even like the Exploited, who aren't even like American.
Yeah.
And it is insane the things that I grew up listening to and processing about like society that they were saying. All these punk bands were saying was like, I was like really extreme in my head version of like what the world could be like. Mm-hmm. I was listening to like Injustice System by Sick of It All, totally randomly. And I was like, it's from like 1987. And I love Sick of It All. I've seen a whole bunch of times. Those were great shows. And I was listening to it and I was like, every single thing in this song is like real now.
Yeah.
And I don't understand how that is true because, but I learned a lot. Like a lot of my morals came from listening to punk rock and hardcore.
Yeah, mine was punk rock and reggae, man. That's like kind of where my moral compass came from in a big way, man. Was listening to a lot of that music, man. It was just like, it's just freaking, yeah.
Also, my parents. I don't want to leave them out. I gotta find it.
They did a pretty good job. Yeah, they did all right.
And books. I learned a lot from reading Catch 22.
Yeah.
Remember when right was right, wrong was wrong.
Yeah. Remember that, kids. Remember.
So,
all right, let's get into some nerd stuff. All right.
We've been nerding out.
We have been nerding out. We have, yeah.
Yo, first, here's what I want. This is what I want to bring up first. Tomorrow.
Ooh, one second. Go ahead.
Oh wait, hold.
$4.99 super chat from El Spooky Zorro. This one is
for
for
Hedgehog. You ever see Chemical Brothers or Richie Houghton's Plastic Man live? The answer is no, but I do like Chemical Brothers a lot. Obviously, Richie Houghton is a fucking legend. I've seen a bunch of legends though. When it comes to dance music, I've seen some. My favorite DJ of all time, being a child of the New York City scene, is Jonathan Peters. So when I was in college, we would go to Sound Factory. That was our place. And like, I remember going there for the first time and being like, oh my, there's like, 6'6" cross dressers running around. Like it's 5 a.m. and like, there's this crazy music like playing. And it was like,
didn't they just do a documentary on Jonathan Peters recently? I thought I saw something on him. I'm not sure if it was him, but it was one of the kind of like the pioneers of like the techno kind of age or dance music kind of thing. I thought it was him. Maybe it was somebody else.
I don't if there is, I need to see it. He's still DJing right now. As a matter of fact, he had something of a renaissance during the pandemic when everybody couldn't go out anymore. He started a lot of DJs started like live streaming. This is when live streaming first became big. And it became a thing. Saturday night, all the old Sound Factory heads would like log on to Twitch, and like he would DJ it like it was like a Sound Factory set from like the late 90s, early 2000s. And since then, he's continued to DJ. Like they're all basically like either classics shows or something like that, right, where it's pretty much the old Sound Factory heads, the ones that are still alive, going to see him. But I've seen Marcus Schultz. I saw Marcus Schultz at EDC NY in 2012. That set was amazing. But I've also seen Marcus Schultz at Space Miami. We went down there for my buddy's bachelor party for Miami Music Week and like Ultra Fest and all that stuff. And Marcus Schultz at Space was one of the greatest sets that I've ever seen, heard, been a part of. I've seen Tiesto a couple of times. He's good. I didn't think he was as good on the level of like Marcus Schultz. Jonathan Peters is a little bit different. He's like sort of one of my favorites ever. Yeah, I mean, when I DJ'd at Beyond Wonderland, that set's probably the best set I've ever heard in my life. The one that I played.
I've never been to a DJ set. I was supposed to go see Justice they put a live album from.
Oh, that'd be cool. Yeah.
Yeah. See, if you like Justice, you'd probably like Charlie XCX because that's actually what that album sounds like to me.
That's cool.
I mean, before the days of the big like EDM shows started happening and stuff. I mean, back when I was a kid, way back in the 1900s.
You guys are old.
I know. We were going to raves, so I mean, I didn't know who the DJs were, but I mean, obviously, I saw a lot of like great DJs at these big like underground raves that happen, and I mean, obviously, a lot of those guys probably became like pioneers in the DJ dance, EDM music scene or whatever. One of the ones, I mean, like I said, not that I was the biggest fan. I mean, I went obviously because of the beats and the partying and this and that, but one of the biggest bands that I wished I would have seen way back then was Daft Punk. I mean, I wish I would have gotten a chance to see them live. I mean, that from the performances that I've seen of their live performance, I was like, damn, like that's a show that was definitely missed. That
I bet they tour, dude. I bet they tour again.
Dude, I would be so all about that, man. But they're one of those things. It was like their performance that they did at what's the one that's out here in Coachella. Mm-hmm. They did where they just I mean, they weren't even announced. They were there. You know what I mean? And it was like a surprise performance that nobody expected or anything. It was like, dude, and it was like one of like the greatest performances of Daft Punk ever. It was like fucking, I would love to see them.
But there was like a difference. Like as time went on, it was kind of like there's DJs, right? And there was people that were famous for like being DJs, like, and that was their art. You know what I mean? Like people don't understand that, like, if like somebody's like as a DJ, the last thing you want is for somebody to like come up and like make a request. And like as a fan of dance music, I would never go make a request. Like I want, this is going to sound I can be a little bit cheesy, but I want the DJ to take me on a journey. Like, you would go to like a Jonathan, like go to Sound Factory, and like you don't know any of the songs, but he's like telling you a story kind of like through the music. And like it's very tribal and all this, but then like there's different points in the night, and he would have an anthem, which was like a vocal, like R&B anthem, like over a dance beat, and it would be something that no one's ever heard of before, but he would like rip it up, like he would play the acapella and like stop it, start it, loop it, and he would play it for like 45 minutes. And I remember it was in the late 90s, and I was at Sound Factory, and like he played like the anthem that night, and like it was like something about apocalyptic stuff and like all this stuff. And when I got back like the next day, my buddy Mike Koza, who I had the group Glitch Matrix with, he didn't go that night, and I was telling him, I'm like, man, we got to find this track, the anthem. It's like this beautiful, incredible R&B vocal, and it's very apocalyptic, and it's like something about if tomorrow is Judgment Day, and like the feeling was amazing, and it was the music and probably other things that contributed to the feeling, but I was like, incredible, and blah blah blah. And it turns out it was Whitney Houston, one of like the absolute dance music divas. My Love, Your Love. That was the first time I heard it, was when he ripped it up for like 45 minutes, and I was
that's awesome. Rob hit it right on the head. 94 to 96 was the golden year of the rave era. That was me too, dude. Freaking around 93, because I was 19 when I went to my first rave, so it was like 2 years after I got out of high school. I graduated at 17, so it was like 93 to about mid 95. I probably went to about 20 different raves in that time period. And fucking dude, I mean, like I said, talk about a huge generation of upcoming like EDM DJs and stuff like that. And man, all that music was fucking banging back then. It was great, man.
If you think about like music you didn't appreciate at the time, like that is, I don't think I listened to any electronic music until I saw Train Spotting. And I heard the Underworld song that's on that soundtrack, Born Slippy, which is still one of my favorite. Like,
that's a great track.
That song's amazing.
And I like, there was a time where I was like, there's a part in the song where it sounds like they say something really, really racist.
Yes.
And then when I found out it's not that, I was like, oh, thank you, God.
I just knew it couldn't have been that because it was like popular. But but then Dorklayer just said DJ Shadow, like that album also blew my mind.
Nice. Yeah.
And there were reasons that album blew my mind also at the age I was when it came out. But I was a college freshman when that came out. That was 1997 was a crazy year for music. Actually, it's like OK Computer. That's the band I never saw. That's it.
Oh, dude, with a bullet, dude. I want to go see Radiohead so bad, bro.
So I got my daughter really into Radiohead and Jeff Buckley, but like OK Computer still. I wrote a paper freshman year on OK Computer, and my professor didn't want me to, but I did it anyway. Side note, but like that album. Like all these, 1997 was an incredible year for music. Sleater-Kinney, there were so many great albums that came out.
Oh yeah.
Side note, but I like lost track of the other albums. Yola Tango had a great album that year. I would love
Sound Factory,
Computer.
Exit.
I mean Radiohead.
Exit was another great club. Exit was like the big giant, like where Sound Factory was like dark. It wasn't small by any means, but it was like dark and closed. You felt like you were like in a secret society when you went there. Exit played some similar music, but it was much bigger. It was this massive, both in the meatpacking district. And Denny Chetos, who was a big Jersey Shore DJ, was the resident DJ at Exit, and he was in a cage, like suspended over the crowd, and you could like kind of like walk around the whole thing. And so if you went up to the upper level, you could be behind the DJ booth. And I just have like, you get those flashes of memories of like just moments like when songs were on, and it was like, that was incredible.
Fucking Rob Zamora pulling the flex. I've seen Radiohead 17 times, he says. Fuck you, Rob.
Nerd.
Times.
Fucking nerd.
Dork.
Fuck, dude. I wish I could see Radiohead, dude. God damn it. I can't believe I had never seen them.
How many times have Radiohead toured ever?
Yeah.
17 times specifically.
True. Yeah. That's crazy, bro.
OK Computer was huge. That was huge when it came out, too.
I'll clarify. I want to know where and when all of those shows were. You've seen them 17 times.
That's crazy.
A band that's been around.
Rob's from California, so that's probably all around there.
Very jealous.
That's crazy.
Cold down here, man.
Yeah, me too. Freezing, and I don't know where my closest sweatshirt is.
So, God damn, I could do this all day. I'm so excited now. I want to like listen to music. I want to go listen to music.
We can change subjects now.
No, it's
Yeah,
all good.
we can
It's all
come back. We can come back to it, but before, I want to make sure that we hit this. Oh, where is it? Tomorrow at 10 a.m. we have a claim sale going on. Is this right, Jay?
It is, but like I think 10 a.m. is a terrible choice for me, so I might change it to 11. I don't know why it was 10.
I think 10 is whatever.
I'm not good at getting up that early.
It's your show, man. It's your
I might change it to 11. But yeah, so I'm gonna do a claim sale of every single custom I have that's like finished and I know good to go, to try to just I don't have room for them. They're like in bad, like they're all, most of them are next to me, but there's just, I have like these bins filled with just bags and bubble wrap with the customs in them, and just there's too many of them.
Yeah. So knock them out, bro. Knock them out of the park then.
You've thrown your stuff up here a few times because, as I've said before, I'm a big fan of yours. I'm a big fan of your style, and you have a kind of a couple of different things you do. But the thing that really attracted me the most was that, that color shifting turbo dork paint style with like all the different colors, like like this guy, like that's almost like metallic, shiny, beautiful stuff. So you can actually get your own tomorrow, and then there's going to be a bunch of pictures up, right, Jay? But
it's all these pictures. Yeah, so it's going to be these. I'm going to repost them with the price, and then I'm going to post some pictures like in an actual, like, so you can see it without the black background.
Mm-hmm.
So it can be seen from different angles, so you know what you're looking at when you purchase it.
But are you still doing the thing where like the claim should go on the picture that has the price, right?
Right. And because I'll say this, I'm going to be painting live on the show that Curtis is doing on his channel at 1. So if you claim it,
customizing studio,
and it is claimed, like if somebody claims it in the right place and somebody claims it in the other place, I'm not going to be able to like see. I'm trying to have my computer open. I mean, I'm not expecting that everybody's going to be claiming them like crazy. I just, whatever I can get rid of would be nice.
And if first of all, I don't think that's true. I think they will be claimed like crazy, and if not, people are stupid because these things are awesome. Yeah. And I'll say, I can say this, right, Jay?
Say what? Yeah, say it.
I'm gonna own my own. Officially, the deal has been sealed. You got them there?
I moved it into a different section, and like
boom,
nice.
It's mine. There's no way to like really get this to look.
Everybody knows which one that is.
Like setup is not great, but
that's awesome.
Yes,
awesome pickup, bro.
Yeah, I'm so excited, man.
Yeah, I am officially gonna say that I will this coming year be picking up my first JLo Fidelity custom at Legions Con. Yeah. I literally I couldn't make up my mind last year. There was so many. I was like Jonathan says, I was like a goldfish. Like my eyes just kept fluttering back and forth. I was like, oh my god, this is, oh my god, whoa, look at this.
It was like it was weird just because I had stuff in 2 places, but I wasn't at either of them. So that was like part of it being kind of like odd. Like
yeah, I was looking at most of your stuff that was on the first aisle right in the door entrance when you walked in, and you had that
Josh's table?
Josh's table. Yeah. That's where I was looking at most of your stuff, and I was just like, Jesus Christ, look at, oh my god. I was like just like losing my. That's why I was like, dude, I have to meet this guy. I was like, his fucking work is incredible. And
that's when I came up met you. Like that whole show for me was a real blur.
Mm-hmm.
I think I went in with a lot of expectations. I don't even know what I expected, but it was like, I had met everybody over the course of this year. So it was like, I'm going to see everybody and talk to them, for the first time. And like half of the interactions I had were just like so fast and just.
That's Legions Con, dude, man.
Yeah, I know. It was my second Legions Con. The first one I went, I didn't know. I knew like Josh Brown. That's it.
Yeah.
So the best joke. This is the best name I'll ever come up with.
Sir Indigo, fuck yourself.
I'm proud of this, man. I almost don't want to get rid of this figure because
angry New Yorker. I agree. I love it, dude. I love it.
Oh, you got somebody here. Trevor says he wants a JLo Fidelity Fury orc.
I could make that happen.
Hell yeah.
I remember my biggest regret of this year's Legion Con, number one, and it's hard for me to have any because this Legion's Con for me was incredible. Need I remind you? Exactly. Need I remind you? Exactly. But so then I think it was close to the end of the day on Sunday, and I was by the Wolf King table, and I was talking to you, Jay, and you're like, any custom here, and I don't even want to say the price that you said. You were like, blah blah blah, anyone, and I was like, what? Are you sure? And like, I don't know if there was too many to look at, or I was like hesitant because I already spent money or whatever, or I felt bad because I already had amazing, awesome stuff in tow. But then I didn't get anything, and I was like, why didn't I grab something? But now I am going to have a J-Lo Fidelity custom, and it's the number one that I wanted.
Damn straight.
Yeah.
Awesome.
I didn't want to sell that, but like I was telling you, like especially things with wings, I'll make something and I'll really love it. And I'm like, I'm going to keep this. This is definitely for me. And then like 2 months later, I'm just looking at the stuff that I have decided to keep. And I'm like, I don't, I've had it. I've looked at it. I want to make more things. I don't have a ton of space, especially like this. I have like a couple of things I have that like I will never get rid of that have dragon wings that have like very specific sentimental value, and it takes up too much real estate. I don't think I can really keep anything else. That's what you and I talked about, that other one that I didn't want to sell. This is also one of my favorite names. I have a lot of fun doing this.
Give me some time.
This is like I'm not usually that funny out loud, but I'll come up with things like at 3 a.m. when I'm trying to name a character that I'm very proud of.
Rob, did you not get a pin? We'll get
Rob, actually, Rob. So Rob, I don't even. This is Legion Con being a blur, right? At some point in the first day, 2 people came up to me and they're like, "This is from Rob Zamora," and I was so confused. And it was this head. So he had one like this is when this was like a Wolf King. When there was like the Wolf King Emil, like 12 for 25, right? Or whatever. And thank God that wasn't the head. So he had won this like figure and the head, and he said he didn't want the head and he was going to send it to me. And I was like, that's awesome. I really want to paint it. So that's what I was given at Legion. I don't remember who gave it to me though. And it was 2 people I knew.
Brian Carr.
Yeah.
That's what Rob says. Yeah.
Oh, okay. That's how much of a blur it was. Totally bizarre. But I did just make a custom with that head, but it's a full custom. So I'm going to have, but I told him, I was like, I'll paint this and give it back to you. I didn't mean to make a full custom with that head. But I'm going to have to get another one of the heads and give it back to you. But maybe you can hit me up and let me know if you want like a color or something.
And Rob, my bad. We'll get you a pin, Rob. We'll figure that out. I think I was supposed to give it to Brian, maybe. We'll figure it out. We'll get you the pin, Rob. Thank you for reminding me.
Hell yeah.
And then, holy crap, Jay. Dread Palm's Pupil Core. Macular Degenerate. The names are incredible. Where are these head and hands from?
Hands. So like there's a gap kind of, and there's like a lot of blue tack, but I think it looked pretty cool. And like I'm not great at painting eyes at all. I really like how the eyes and the hands, and I can't paint teeth usually either, and the teeth came out really good on those hands as well.
Hell yeah.
That was a lot of fun to paint.
Badass.
Yeah, it looks sick, bro. It looks
like Guillermo del Toro, but like or something.
Hells yeah.
A lot of dry brushing. I love anything I can dry brush.
And then there's this style, this sort of I just had a word on my
like a black light poster kind of thing. Like
exactly,
that's what it reminded me of. Yeah. It's like
you mentioned something about that.
Mondo
was doing something that, and we were like,
copying
J-Lo Fidelity style.
Full on copying his style. I was like, what? I was like, these guys are biting, bro.
I got the idea from a Funko Pop though. Like, there's the Funko Pop of Galactus.
Shh, he doesn't know what he's saying, people. He invented this style.
Yeah,
I invented the style, and Funko stole it from me.
Exactly. There you go.
So I tried to do this like years and years ago, and I could not figure out how to do it. Like 2021 was the first time I tried, and I gave up. And I just started doing neon without the pin lining.
Yeah.
And then I realized like the pin lining, when it's perfect, doesn't really look as great to me. I think it like this is, I mean, I would like to tighten some of those lines up, but like the stuff there at the bottom is not precise, but it looks kind of like doodling. Like I used to doodle a lot when I was in school. Otherwise, I couldn't pay attention to shit.
Mhm.
And so if you think about like, I just started another one actually. He's a dwarf that I am in the middle of.
Uh-oh, door fence. Check it out.
Where's Anthony?
Oh, that looks great, dude.
Oh, no way.
That looks
And
fucking
then
cool.
this is one that I was wrapping up that this is not going to be for sale, but this is
Not yet.
Yeah, that looks great. Don't bring it to Legions Con. I'll tell you
I'm
right
not
now.
going to.
Yeah, you
I
just leave
did.
it at your house.
I did
Leave
bring
it
it to
home.
Legion's Con. I was going to sell it, and I was like, this is the one because I have a blacklight display of all these customs I did, and I
Nice.
decided I'm going to sell any of them except for that. That's the one I'm keeping.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, there's a vampire one I didn't want to sell either that I'm going to at least have for sale if anybody wants it.
Hell yeah.
The
Yeah,
answer is
man,
yes.
you should do great, man. Like I said, yeah, your style is freaking awesome, and you have a lot of great choices here to choose from.
Thank
So
you.
it's like,
Oh,
yeah.
so I mean, it's just not really like custom buying season, I guess, But I'll have stuff
hey man, anytime
Zolocon.
in the community, anytime's a buying season. You know,
Apparently it is, my friend.
Works for me.
Yeah, exactly.
Listen, man, the more that I sell, the more I can invest in things to make more customs at Zolocon.
Yeah.
And I love those videos you do.
Are you vending at Zolocon?
No, I'm buying.
Okay.
I'm just buying at Zolocon.
Right on.
I also really like this idea that I don't know. I can look at these. I'm like more impressed with myself for the stupid names. I shouldn't say impressed with myself. That sounded more egotistical than I meant it to sound. But like
You
some
get
of these were like
enjoyment
very
out of it.
last minute, and some of these were.
Look at these flowers, though, dude.
Those are a challenge. Those are like for me. That's a challenge. I was like, I'm trying to push myself because I think I want to try to sell head sculpts, but that's precision detail is not. That's not my bread and butter. I'm not like Corey, who is Schussenhofer. It's like crazy at painting. I watched him paint at Legion's Con with speed paint doing pupils. Like it's wild. I just sat and watched him do it. He's like, you could do this. It's like, dude, I cannot do that. Like there are people who I love to see. I see like a head sculpt come out and like Skeletosauria and which I feel like I'm saying that wrong. And Brian
Blaze Bear, bro.
Ramos, like they knock it out of the park. And I'm like, try to paint an eyeball.
Yeah,
Rob, this is part of the claim sale tomorrow. So tomorrow, 10 or 11 a.m. So this is it's going to be in the Purple Gang group or where, Jay?
It's in the Purple Gang
group. In the Purple Gang Facebook group, Purple Gang Facebook group. At 11, we're going to do it, Jay?
I'm going to say 11, yeah.
Okay, 11 a.m. It's claim sale, straight claim sale. There's going to be a bunch of pictures up, not just the ones we're seeing here, but make sure you put your claim as a comment under the photo that has the price.
So it'll be, I'm going to delete all these photos and add the photo again with the price.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully that'll work.
I think it'll work. Look at this insanity.
That's a spawn figure, the top half.
Right here.
That's a great head sculpt also. That's an old school custom did that. It's an exclusive to onepercase.com. My friend Jason. That's great head sculpt.
Insane.
Hell yeah.
It's like toxic space trooper cocaine bear.
That's kind of what it is. I did a coke custom a long time ago. Really.
Did you really?
There's like a long story behind this, but this is like a tribute to like
Eastern
stoner metal bands. Like it's supposed to be named after the band Sun O. If anybody's really into that stuff, like there's a whole backstory that's about him basically being from the planet Sun O. Anyway.
This one. I remember this one. The Rift and the Relish. The Relish is the hot dog cat.
Yes.
Ha!
The backpack on that is a little bit like one of the things I broke heating it up. So it's not as like it's going to be a little bit cheaper than it would normally be, but that paint Like all I did to this figure is just airbrush one paint on it. Two. So it's this Turbo Dork paint that looks like that. And it is insane. It's the most insane and like trippy paint that has ever been made. And I put this purple on it, so you get like a little bit of an extra. The guy from Turbo Dork told me it looked like a mood ring with a combination. That's one of the blue ones I was talking about. I was talking before. I did a whole bunch of weird like blue kind of ish nights with the God's Fireheads from Wolf King.
Yeah. Yep.
I love those heads by Emil.
Self-sharpening.
This is funnier when you get to the next one.
Iridescent audible sigh.
Those two figures actually were figures that I had dropped off with Len they had been at a bunch of shows. They're also going to be like, because they have some wear from the show, be less than I would have charged if they were new. But I really love painting anything with scales in Turbo Dork. And I went through a phase in which I was going through a ton of Ninians like that. There were like probably 4 or 5 Ninians that I repainted in different Turbo Dork paints that are going to be for sale. There's another one.
Sommelier of the Cataclysm.
I don't know why. I put that cup in his hand and I was like, he looks really fancy. Much more than I expected. I just went with it.
Ah! What happened?
Oh my God, that thing. I saw that. That's frightening.
That's amazing. I don't know how I did that, but sorry. Hold on a second. I'll fix that.
Somebody had posted, has anybody done a like a Sphyxian Queen? And I think my response was, that looks like the nightmares that my nightmares would have when they go to sleep, because that thing, I'm very frightened of bugs, and that thing freaked me out.
This one right here. Oh my God. Oh my God. This one.
Dude, so his name is escaping me. Fuck.
Crazy Face.
Sculpt.
Oh. I was gonna say it's written right there. Crazy Face.
No, Art of Tellman. His head sculpts are insane.
That's wild.
His head sculpts are so crazy. I kind of feel like he's sculpting like on an acid trip. I don't really think that about him. But like they're all really, really psychedelic and interesting, and like the patterns are strange. That was the first one I might have like. It's probably not the first one I painted, but like it's the first time I was like, it was challenging to paint that and know where everything was. I just dry brushed it, but it like I finished it and I was like, this came out so much better. And it's not because of me, it's because his head sculpt is wild.
Damn.
That was really just me plugging him. He's an amazing artist.
Is this a dwarf scale?
Yeah, I think so. I don't remember. I'll have better pictures. I feel like he's got dwarf calves.
Legs? Oh.
He's got like half a dwarf. One of them is a dwarf leg and one of them is regular size. Pretty sure.
Great.
That guy's arms look like the that like sparkly thing you just can't see in this picture. And I don't know why that's what I said. He was an aerosol caterer. I don't know where that came from.
Well, you gotta have a day job, right?
Sure.
Oh shit.
That's rad.
Right?
That's rad, dude. I love that. I love the day glow stuff, man. It's freaking looks so dope.
Thanks.
It pops so hard, bro. It's like I said, it just takes the like you can't like I don't even see like a Cosmic or Legions figure anymore. It's just the colors, bro. It just freaking like I said, it pops so fucking hard.
That's
cool,
like the
man.
idea
Yeah.
to me. Like I don't know. I think that this company is like sometimes this is just like a canvas. Once you mess around with it and it's all you get, like whatever combination of parts you have, it could just be a canvas. It doesn't have to be a figure traditionally.
Right,
Like
exactly.
I found it like really inspiring to kind of lose the idea of like this has to be like actually a barbarian, or this really needs to look like, you know, a character from like Star Wars or whatever. And just mess around. And you know, it's like an argument I have or a conversation with somebody who's not in the community.
Yeah.
and just being like, this can be art, like, you know, showing them, I mean, really just showing them the, you know, the stock figures. But
yeah, it's kind of weird because like the way you do your artwork, you know, as opposed to like the way I look at it as far as like how I want to kind of like put out my work. Like my biggest thing is like being able to put out something that like kind of flows with everything else in the line, like where it does, it's not, it's obviously a custom piece, but it's not
yeah,
like the colors aren't popping or so sharp that it like drowns out everything else in the background kind of thing. Like I wanted to kind of copacetically fit with the rest of, if anybody puts one of my customs into their collection along with all the rest of their mythics or cosmics, like I want it to all fit together. I mean, some of the wildest stuff I've done, like the one that Jonathan bought this past year, I mean, that's like the farthest I'll go out of the spectrum of where I want to keep my stuff. The cosmic gives me a little bit more room to breathe as far as like expressing myself a little bit better. But when it comes to like the mythic stuff, like I definitely like try to keep that like in line with everything else, like their paint work, like how their, you know, aesthetic looks on their line, so that, like I said, when I put in one, if someone puts in one of my pieces, it kind of flows perfectly with everything else, where, like I said, it just doesn't, this stuff, like I said, this is like a crazy whole side of the coin. I mean, it's just awesome to see, man. It just,
I mean, I think like what you're saying, all that stuff is great though. Like, I don't mean, you know, I, to a degree, I think if I did stuff like that, I don't know if it would, I don't want to say I don't know if it would stand out. I just don't, I think that people do that stuff so well
yeah.
that I don't know that I have like something to add. I don't really know how to say what I'm thinking.
You know, I know I feel exactly what you're saying, because I'm at the point right now that when I first started customizing, a basic figure was a basic figure. Now a basic figure is like, I'm looking at some of these figures, I'm like, what the hell can I do with this figure? It's so fucking good. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it's so good. Like the paint work on it, the sculpt, the freaking soft
Yeah.
goods. I'm like, how can I customize this? This freaking figure is fantastic. Like, what more can I do to this figure? So
The extra bodies,
with your style, it's like nobody's doing that. So it's like, that's, like I said, you don't even have to, like, you're coloring way outside the lines, bro.
I have been trying to, the op screw body that's how I felt, exactly how I felt the first time I did one, because like there are a lot of shapes on that, and like lines separating things.
Yeah.
And I found that the first one I did was extraordinarily challenging to paint, just because I didn't know what colors to put where, you know?
Yeah.
And the second one I did, I just actually mimicked
that is so good, dude.
where the
Look at
colors
that.
are on that one.
God damn,
That's the one I initially didn't want to sell.
That's a fucking beautiful figure right there.
That
Like I
is-
said, man,
all
it
those
just
pieces are from Wolfgang.
it takes it right. It, to me, like I said, this is art. You know what I mean? It's like I said, it no longer becomes an action figure or even a custom action figure. It's a custom piece of artwork to me. You know what I mean? It's like, that's
100%.
it has nothing to
Thank
me.
you.
It has nothing to do with action figure. It's like, it's just a piece. It's art, dude. It's full art. That's freaking.
Have you ever seen Heresy for Heretics, that he does miniatures? He's like a Warhammer.
I know I've heard the name. I know I have.
So he did this on a Space Marine or something. I was really, really sick. I just wound up watching a bunch of his videos, and I saw him do this exact thing, maybe with less of the lining, and that's how I wound up trying this for the first time. And I was like, this works on a like Legions figure.
Yeah.
I don't know. So that's how I wound up doing it. But those are a lot of work. I will say that. A lot of work. Like it's like painting it like 5 times. But
beautiful work, bro. So good.
This head looks like the orcs from Lord of the Rings.
It's a vampire, I think, from Wolfgang. I don't know. That was like an extra that was sent to me, so I assume it was a vampire.
Hell yeah.
Blood Rave.
Yeah. Like I said, as much as I definitely love the Turbo Dork like color shifting paint styles that you have.
This is your jam right here.
That's my jam right there, dude. Like I said, the Dayglow style, fuck, it looks so good, dude.
I sold more of that.
And like I said, it's such a different take on customizing. You know what I mean? It's like, I'm always looking for like, okay, like who's really like pushing the limits on, and it isn't about, sculpting or all the extra 3D printed parts you're putting on it. It's like, to me, it's like the paint work. Like, who's really bringing it to the table as far as like really stretching the boundaries of like what you can do that's something different than not everybody else is doing, the same old thing. It's like, and like I said, man, this is freaking fantastic. Love it.
Thanks. I appreciate that a lot.
Yeah. Listen, I agree, man. It's just kind of like, there's a ton of people out there doing tons of great stuff, but like, how often do you see something that's really just different? Like, and we've said it a million times on this show. It's like, you can like see one of Jay's pieces and you're like, who it is. Like, and it's just like, it's so different than what everyone else is doing.
I used to do mostly the classified line for customs, even not doing actual G.I. Joe characters. But like, I used to do, it's like a lot of fatigues and stuff. I just got very tired of sorry, I think I'm dying. No, I'm good. Like that, I think. But I also really, really like, these are colors I like. I also I listen to a lot of very, very psychedelic music when I'm painting. So like TurboDork lends itself, I think, to like being a little bit of like a mind fuck when you look at it and you're like, what is even happening here? Which I like. That's like, I think that's cool.
Yeah. I was actually, there was a point, I want to say it was maybe like 2 years ago when I think I bought my first, I don't know where the hell I was. I was in another city somewhere and I came across like a tabletop gaming place just walking down the street. And I walked in and I was like, oh, cool. They got paints and stuff. And obviously I was already into customizing. So I thought, what the fuck? I'll just go grab a couple bottles of stuff maybe I didn't have or I've never seen. And that's the first time I came across the TurboDork paint. And I was thinking to myself, well, you know what? Maybe I should like kind of, expand my customizing. And I took it home and I kind of played around with it. And for me personally, I was like, yeah, I don't know if this is going to work for my style. You know what I mean? And literally, like
really, it was like difficult to use.
Yeah, really yeah. And I was like looking at things where like people were saying, oh, well, if you're going to get a real, like the real effect of it, you have to like base coat it in like a gloss black. And then, you know what I mean? And kind of to like really make it to make it work. And I was like I said, I kind of played with it, but it like for me, my style, it just didn't work. And literally, I still have those 2 bottles in my room somewhere that I've never used again. That I just kind of set aside because I was like, I don't know. I have to think of like what I would actually paint with this to like, you know what I mean, where it would actually work for me.
I mean, there's a lot of colors that I think would work with Cosmic really easily. Like what's the Ox Crew character, the woman. Who I want to say
Ularia.
Yeah. Like you could use some of their purples to get something very similar to that. It would just be more and not use a color shift and just use like a metallic.
Yeah.
They have really amazing just like silvers and golds. As well.
Yeah, I'm down. Like I said, for me personally, like I definitely am down for the metallics, but I'm more. I do metallics, but I dry brush them. You know what I mean? Because it just gives me that.
That's what I do
instead of straight painting them. Because I don't want that like high gloss finish to my custom work. I always like a matte finish or like a dry brushed finish to it.
Yeah.
It's more like, to me, it looks like more authentic kind of thing.
I know. I mean, not that I'm really plugging them, but there are silvers that work that I use for that. They have a brown. Their brown is like amazing for that. Don't know why I'm holding it up. Like, but,
no, it's all good. Yeah.
It's called Death By.
Yeah.
So but I've been can be used. I think it just like is not. It's not about using it for at first.
Yeah, I've been using the ones that I use. I mean, I've been using a lot of like the Army Painter metallics that they have. Obviously, I've used for years now every one of the Vallejo, not Vallejo, but the fuck. Why can't I think of them? Anyways,
Citadel?
Citadel. Yeah, I don't know why I couldn't think of that damn name for the life of me. Yeah, I mean, obviously I've used every single metallic that they have available in their lineup, but yeah, I definitely, like I said, I definitely want to take a step back into it because, like you said, the Cosmic definitely gives you a lot more room to breathe as far as creativity, as far as being able to use like wild, different colors like this. And I mean, a lot of these new suits, like the Ox Crew bodies, would definitely be one of those challenges to like see. All right, what can we do with this?
that's I think the reason it took me so long to get into the line. Well, first of all, like I've never been like really a fantasy person, but also like when Cosmic came out and I really looked at it, like even though I think a lot of at this point people don't love the original Tusk figures as much, but like that's one of my favorite books ever.
Oh, the Tusk body? Yeah,
Yeah.
dude. Yeah. I just ordered like 10 more. It's like, yeah, it's like my favorite one to paint. There's so many great details on that
And
buck.
it's like, what are these pieces? Like, what is the function of every single piece on this figure? Because there is so much going on. I still look at it and I'm like, I don't even know what all these, it's never explained unless it's explained in the lore and I missed it. But that's what I love about science fiction, like really well sculpted sci-fi figures.
Yeah.
Is like, there's so many different parts that clearly have a function. Like this is a button, but what does it do? I also like in my head canon, those circles in the back are subwoofers, and they just listen to music in them.
Nice, nice.
I used to paint them all black actually, and have them be like speakers.
Yeah, I like I said to me, and as an artist, it became like one of the best challenges for me. Paint wise was getting that buck in hand and doing the first one that I was like, wow, this buck is phenomenal to work on because there's so many little details and stuff, especially when you really start, when you prime it and you actually get to see the full details really pop out at you and you realize like what's you know in front of you, man. It's great.
I'm trying to see here. So like I guess I'm just gonna use this Oxford body, but like all of these bodies have like these separate sections basically, right? Like I'm telling people this, like obviously everybody knows this, right? But the crazy thing is like where you decide to paint different colors, and everybody knows this, I guess, as well, but clearly everybody knows this but like sometimes when you sit down with one of these figures and you realize that you can box in a certain part or another part, you have a totally different figure. Which is how like, the first two, the main figures from the first two waves look, but it still boggles my mind. Like yesterday I was painting, I don't even remember what, and I had just never, like I had boxed out two different sections, I guess, in like a light and a dark color that I never done separately. And it looked like a totally different figure. It's bonkers. Like, and obviously, you can get the same from, I don't know why I'm losing my voice, from a lot of the mythic parts, but it is wild what they did with the legs and torso for all the cosmic parts. Is totally crazy.
Yeah, it's cool, man. Like I said, it just changes the whole game on like I said, when I look at these pictures, man, I don't even see mythic and cosmic at all. I just see artwork, and that's a beautiful thing because it's like it speaks to your talent, dude. That's what it does. It no longer becomes a cosmic or mythic or four horseman figure. It's a piece of artwork, dude, and it just changes
that a lot.
So fucking good, dude.
I mean, I do imagine most of these as like just knights and monsters.
Yeah,
not the woman on top, but like that's just an evil knight to me. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's like a Skeletor influence with the purple, but in my head, like I just really like dark, like indigo knights that are evil is like my new thing. It's like a thing that is new to me in the past like 2 years that I realize I really love. Something about it.
Awesome.
All right, boys. I actually kind of have to get out of here now. This has been one of my favorite shows ever, I think.
It was a good chat, man. It was a good chat for sure. Especially especially the music talk, dude. I said, it doesn't always have to be about toys or figures. You know what I mean? It's, it could be about nostalgia. It could be about music. It could be about movies or, trips that we've taken. It could be about anything, man. Like I said, as long as we're having a good conversation, that's what the show's always about.
A real actual conversation that happened.
That's right. Yeah.
Which is funny because there's plenty to talk about. We didn't look at any of the Toy Fair stuff. Like there's tons of new stuff out there, but man, I could probably talk for another 2 hours about concerts and shit, man.
Hell yeah.
If you get me talking about music, I will not stop.
We got to do it again, man.
That is my main hobby and always has been. Like I think of music as like collecting, like the experience of hearing an album is collecting, even if you don't own it.
We got to definitely trade up some good music references, bro. Because like, I mean, there's always. It's so funny. I mean, as long as I've been a huge music fan, bro, like it's crazy how almost every day I find a new piece of music that I've never heard before, and I freaking like am totally like mind blown. You know what I mean? I'm
Yeah.
like, and then I'll talk to somebody, but like, oh, dude, like you don't listen to that band? Like, yeah, I'm like, dude, I've never even heard this shit before. And they're like, yeah, check out this band and that band and that. It's like, and then I just start like, well, have you heard them? And like, oh no, who's that? And I'm like, well, listen to these guys. You know what I mean? So yeah, and music's freaking one of those things, like you said, we can go on for days, bro, days.
Yeah.
So that's cool. So Rising Suns obviously is shipping now. And so there's a lot of people in the Cabal like shouting and screaming for Dork Lair reviews.
Mm-hmm.
Breaking news, we're about to have one. As soon as we close here, Dork Lair's Nieve review is going up. So we'll go check that out right now.
Yeah.
So tomorrow, don't forget Purple Gang Facebook group at 11 a.m. We're going to have the J Low Fidelity claim sale. Don't get left behind. Get a J Low Fidelity custom like your boy over here.
Yep.
And we got Zolocon coming up in 2 weeks. So I'll see you there, Jay. That'll be
there.
fun. I'll be there.
Yeah.
What we got? The rest of the online Mythic community tonight. Of course, we got Purple Gang Gang at 9 o'clock. Purple Gang Gang 9 o'clock. Tomorrow, of course, there's a ton of stuff. 5 p.m. Eastern. Art G. People in the Cabal probably know Art Gutierrez, especially if you're in the tri-state area. My man Art G's got the best toy hunts online, and he's talking to Mike Zolotro, the showrunner behind Zolocon. He's talking to Mike tomorrow at 5. Blake is going to be on with Brick something. I think that's 7 p.m. tomorrow, talking about a bunch of stuff. And Blake's going to be talking about he's having a Pacific Northwest meetup coming up in June. And then tomorrow night, Shooting the Shelf is going to be interesting because it's a Star Wars show. Trevor's going to be on with Curtis, and I'm sure they'll be fighting about Andor. So
And at 1 o'clock, I'll be painting live with Curtis and like a revolving group of guests.
Let's go.
Well on his channel.
All right, guys. Peace out. We'll see you all next week. Oh, and next week we're going to be talking about, there's going to be a ton of RPG news. Don't forget, if you haven't already, go to Kickstarter. Search up the Mythic Legions RPG, the role-playing game. Follow the Kickstarter so you don't miss anything. And that helps build hype for the RPG, so it is super, super successful. Next SDL Saturday, there's going to be a ton of talk about Zolocon. Mike Zolotro, the showrunner behind Zolocon, is going to be on with us. So we'll be talking a ton of Zolo next week as well.
Nice.
Late night, any last words for the peeps?
Everybody just enjoy your Valentine's Day with your significant others. And from Late Night, here's a little love.
Yes. All right. Until next time, don't forget the number one rule, which is
be cool.
Later.
So I'll see you guys in November.